Well, you can hear the familiar strains of Marching On Together playing through the public address system here at Ellen Road as the teams are led out by our match officials. Oliver Langford's the referee tonight. Leeds and Stoke. Leeds in all white as the home team. Stoke in their chain strip of all dark blue with some little turquoise flecks amongst the top of their shirts. Handshakes will start. I'll run you through the lineups again ahead of kickoff. Meslier in goal for Leeds. Roberts, Roden, Ampadu, Byram in the back four. Gruyev and Kamara holding in midfield. James, Rutter and Somerville behind Bamford in attack. For Stoke, Everson the goalkeeper. Hoover, Rose, Wilmot and Gooch in the back four. Lawrence, Berger and Baker midfield three. Manhoof, Ennis and Bajunho in attack for Stoke City. And pretty much every seat is full. And I keep going back to the first time I ever came here, Danny. We're sat in the John Charles Maidstone. No, a bit more recent than that. It's probably about 10, 15 years ago I first came here to report on a game. And we were sat in the gantry above, just beyond where we're sitting now.
You never came here when Leeds in the Premier League?
No, not until they were back in the Championship. And
you never came here to watch me play?
No, I didn't.
I'm appalled.
I'm so sorry.
Get out.
But the noise...
Leave now.
The noise was extraordinary.
Yeah, I had, 5 seasons here. And even before that, obviously came here as an away team. It is one of the best atmospheres ever. Bear in mind, it's only, 37,000, completely full. It is absolutely so superb. Old school ground, fans close to the pitch. Night games here are something very, very special. The crowd, incredibly supportive, vociferous, but that brings with it pressure. And these Leeds, Eddie Gray was obviously very much a part of things when I was here, assistant manager, had been here long before that, looking after the youth team players. When I came here, he said, look, you've got to have the courage to play. You've got to have the courage to get on the ball, and you've got to have the courage to block out the crowd, because they are a tough crowd to please.
Well, in 2024, Leeds United have been almost perfect. Huddersfield were the first team to take points off them in the Championship. That was Saturday lunchtime at the John Smiths. You heard it live on Talksport when Leeds had to come from behind. And already Leeds are being forced to kick towards the Revy end in the first half. So Stoke City have clearly won the toss. You can hear every boos around us. We're sat in the John Charles main stand. The Jack Charlton East stand opposite us. Revy end to our immediate left. Norman Hunter end to our right. And Leeds are being forced to head for the Revy end in the first period of the game. They normally prefer to do that in the second half.
Do you know what, Dan? No idea what way we shot when I was here. Do you know why? That's how important it is.
Well, because there's Leeds fans at both ends, in fairness.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I have no idea.
Well, the Stoke fans are down to our right-hand side in the bottom paddock of the John Charles main stand. Players take the knee on the referee's instruction. Loads of games going on tonight around the EFL and the Champions League and the National League. I'll keep you in touch tonight during the course of our commentary. But Patrick Bamford rolls the ball back into midfield for Ilya Gruyev, and we are underway on Talksport 2 at Ellen Road. Leeds in all white then attacking the Revy end to our left, and straight away Sam Byram tries to release Crescencio. Somerville down the left-hand side of the box into the area, tries to jink into space and almost found Glenn Kamara, who robbed the ball back of Kiana Hoover as Stoke try to clear their lines. Leeds on the front foot immediately inside this first minute as they work it back to halfway, 0-0.
We always used to do that when I was at Leeds. It's like, start fast, get the crowd on your side, get at teams. Can you intimidate them early on? Can you shock them? Can you really put them under pressure, and will they fold very, very quickly? We used to try and steamroller teams in the first 15, 20 minutes of games.
Yeah. Well, the ball's back in the Leeds half with the captain, Ethan Ampadu, strokes it out to this near touchline, and Sam Byram, one of 3 changes that Daniel Farke has made this evening, changing both full-backs and bringing Daniel James in on the right-hand side. He's on the far side of the field from us in acres of space, Daniel James, but on this near side, it's Patrick Bamford, and he spots the run of Daniel James, who'll pick it up on the dead ball line, has to run towards the corner flag to keep possession, rolls his foot on the ball, being watched by Lyndon Gooch. Leeds get to the left-hand corner of the box. It's worked into Gruyev. Back for Jorginho Rutter. Tries to touch it back into midfield. Well, possession's kept well by Joe Roden. I thought they'd lost it there for a second.
Should have shot, though.
Yeah.
You're in the penalty area. you're in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game, first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Have a shot. Test the goalkeeper. Is he warm? Is he ready? Might get a little deflection, or he might just fumble one early on.
Joe Roden goes back for Ethan Ampadu inside the centre circle, just inside his own half. 0-0 on Talksport 2 with pretty much 2 minutes gone at Ellen Road. Ampadu finds Roden again, just to the right of the centre circle. Plays it along the deck out to the right wing. Daniel James just brings it under control. Being watched by Bai Jun-ho. Early cross into the box, just goes beyond Connor Roberts, who pushed forward from right back into the area. Stoke hook it clear. Leeds throwing on the far side, 0-0.
Yeah, Leeds starting the game on the front foot, as you'd expect at home. Stoke sitting back will try and soak up the pressure. Mentioned moment, get through the first 10 minutes. Stay solid. You know you're going to come under pressure here. Stay solid, don't do anything daft, defend right, defend your spaces. Don't give Leeds anything easy to get them into the game.
So, offside has gone up against Leeds United. So, Daniel Everson will take the free kick for Stoke, on loan from Leicester till the end of the season. Had a full year in the Championship at Preston North End last year. Won promotion with Rotherham before that, but he's on Leicester's books just now. He takes the free kick for Stoke down the right-hand side. Niall Ennis does well to bring it down. And it's tucked away down the left-hand side by Lewis Baker. Bai Jun-ho works his way into the area for Stoke. He's been forced out of the box by Roden, but he still manages to find Baker again. Now Wouter Berger will just clip the ball into the box, headed up in the air by Ampadu. It'll drop for Kiana Hoover, who tries to nod it to Ennis at the edge of the area, but a half-volley clearance from Ethan Ampadu heads straight onto the chest of Ben Warmott. And that's the first we've seen from Stoke City coming forward, and Bai Jun-ho looked very lively there. He's got 2 in 2 for the Potters just lately.
But again, why not shoot? You know, you've driven into the box, you've gone past your fullback, it's on your right foot, just have a whack. Test the goalkeeper. You know, you might get some... How many attacks are you expecting to get in this game?
Barnet 1, Rochdale 0 in the National League. Incidentally, Callum Stead's already put Barnet ahead at the Hive. Rochdale have got a fairly momentous couple of days coming up, looking for fresh investment so that they can indeed continue as a going concern.
Too many teams, Danter, are shot shy nowadays. You know, they want to score the perfect goal. It's like, oh, I won't shoot just in case I miss, or it's not the best shot in the world. No, you've got to have maybe 8 shots on average to score a goal on target. You know, that's how it is. So you've got to keep shooting as much as possible.
Stranraer 1, Dumbarton 0 in Scottish League 2. An own goal from Ryan Blair puts Stranraer ahead. Here's Patrick Bamford for Leeds. 0-0 on Talksport 2 with 4.5 minutes gone at Ellen Road. Gruyev finds Connor Roberts, one of a number of Welsh players part of this Leeds United squad, with James and Rodon and Ampadu all hoping to be in the Welsh squad for those crucial Euro playoff ties, first of all against Finland and then potentially against Poland or Estonia for the chance to go to Germany in the summer. Leeds give the ball up. Bai Jun-ho works it infield to Wouter Berger, who clips it out to Kiana Hoover on this near side. Gateshead leads Solihull Moors in the National League by 1-0 at the GIS. Ben Warman. And then Manhoof tries to wriggle past Somerville, but he pulled him to the floor, Milian Manhoof. So it's a free kick for Leeds, taken quickly by Gruyev. Very unfussy player, Ilya Gruyev, the Bulgarian. Hasn't scored for the club, but he's been such an important pivot at the base of that Leeds midfield this season. A very smart acquisition from Daniel Farke.
It's all about balance, though, in teams. You know, it's when people talk about the England team or this team or who you should buy, and it's just buying the best players doesn't mean you have the best team. You know, everybody has to do a certain job. Certain players are better at doing a job than others. So yeah, you do need players. You need creative players, of course. You need goal scorers, but you need players who are prepared to just be there, do their job. You know, almost be underrated. That's not exactly what stardom.
It's exactly what Ilya Gruyev does, and Glenn Kamara's not far behind him. He tries to find Bamford just outside the area. Great sliding challenge from Kamara to get Byron back into the game. Now Somerville down the left-hand side of the box, gets to the byline, tries to send it across the face of goal with the outside of his right boot, and it's deflected behind for Leeds. First corner of the game, 6 gone, 0-0.
It was good defending by Josh Lauren in the end. He just gave him a little nudge. He just leant on him. Never going to be a penalty, never going to be anything more than that, but he just did enough to put him off.
So a corner at the Revienne where it meets the John Charles main stand. Daniel James is the man that's going to take it. Coventry have the lead against Rotherham. And it comes from James. Headed strongly out by Michael Rose. And by keeps it in play for Stoke on the far side. Ben Wilmot gets his head up inside his own penalty area. It's a long ball downfield. It's over the head of Niall Ennis and very cleverly cushioned down with the header by Connor Roberts for his countryman Ethan Ampadu. I wonder how much the Wales management team will have looked at Rodon and Ampadu and thought maybe that could work for country as well as for club.
Oh, without a doubt, because it's about, we talked about it earlier on.
As Daniel James works down the left-hand side, crosses over hit from the byline, left-hand side, but Connor Roberts scampers over to the far side to retrieve it for Leeds United. Somerville approaching the right-hand corner of the Stoke penalty area, plays it backwards to square to Gruyev. Kamara runs into Lewis Baker. He still managed to thread the ball through up to the edge of the area, but Lyndon Gooch, who's playing as an emergency left-back, there's no first-choice left-backs available for Stoke. He's doing well in that position, did well on Saturday against Middlesbrough. Manhoof, right wing for Stoke City as they attack the Norman Hunter end to our right-hand side, and it's found its way through to Josh Laurent, who got a shot away left-footed, but no power behind it. Very comfortable save for Ilan Meslier. 0-0, 8 minutes gone on Talksport 2.
Yeah, but that's better from Stoke. You know, well worked. They kept the ball well. They get to the edge of the box. Have a shot. Why not? Takes a slight deflection. Takes all the sting out of it. Not a problem. But going back to the Welsh thing, and the Leeds players obviously both playing centre half. The game is about understanding each other's positions, understanding strengths and weaknesses, and also about partnerships. You know, all over the pitch. You know, how do you interact with the players either side of you? So yeah, without a doubt, I'm pretty sure that the Welsh management will be thinking, this is definitely a possibility.
Here's Jorginho Rutter, Leeds United, right-hand side, gets to the corner of the penalty area. Look to flick it into Crescencio Somerville, but there are enough dark blue Stoke shirts back. Lyndon Gooch, anywhere will do for the American, and he gets good distance on the clearance, lands on the halfway line, good header down from Byram, and the ball will drop for Joe Rodon. He volleys it over halfway, straight onto the head of Ben Wilmot. And then Connor Roberts heads the ball back to Meslier, has to come outside of his penalty area and shanks the clearance under a bit of pressure from Niall Ennis, and it's out of play for a Stoke throw on the far side. I mentioned that Coventry were 1-0 up against Rotherham. That's Ellis Sims who scored. And Northampton lead at Peterborough in League One. John Guthrie for the Cobblers. Do we call that a local derby, Peterborough, Northampton? It's not that far between the two, is it, really? It's not a million miles. They'll hate you. They won't like each other.
Quite a long way.
They won't like each other, that's for sure. Throw in for Stoke. Wouter Berger clips the ball up to the edge of the area. Sam Byram heads it clear. Bamford tries to help it on towards halfway, but it'll just go out of play for a throw. Altrincham 1, Dorking 0 in the National League, and York 0, AFC Fylde 1, Southend 0, Wealdstone 1. So goals going in the non-league, but only one goal so far in our feature, well, 2 goals in our featured games in the EFL. Coventry 1-0 up and Northampton 1-0 up. 0-0 here at Ellen Road as we approach the 10-minute mark. Connor Roberts.
Stoke have done okay, to be fair.
They have.
You know, Leeds started the first 2 minutes, looked really bright, but now it's settled down a little bit and they've come into the game a little bit.
Stoke beat Leeds 1-0 in October. There was a Pascal Strike own goal late on after Patrick Bamford had skied a penalty when Leeds had the chance to take the lead earlier in the game. So a chance for Stephen Schumacher's men to do the double. Remember, they start the night in 22nd place, one of the relegation spots, but there's so few points between 6 or 7 teams. One win tonight can make all the difference. Oh, and Everson just wins the ball ahead of Daniel James.
Oh, I don't know if he does.
Well, he dallied on it. If there was VAR, we'd be having a look at it, but we are in a VAR-free zone, so the referee's call, Oliver Langford, stands, and Daniel James is only just picking himself up, and Danny Mills will have to look at a replay because the ball was rolled back to Everson. It sold him short. And Daniel James came...
No, he didn't sell him short. He had a horrific touch. I mean, dearie me, it's like he's got bags of cement on his feet. It was in terrible control.
We'll wait to see a replay of that.
Dan James nipped in. I'm not sure how much of the ball the goalkeeper got, you know.
Well, we know that Dan James is quick. We'll have a look at that in a minute. We're still waiting to see a replay.
I'm going to say now, if that's the Premier League, that goes to VAR, that's probably given as a penalty.
Ampadu for Leeds United at 0-0. 11 and a half minutes gone at Ellen Road.
It's difficult for the referee because it's in real time.
Yep.
He gets one look at it, and it's very difficult to tell whether Dan James gets to the ball first or the goalkeeper gets the ball first. And also, I think there was that little bit of unexpectedness.
Yes. Rutter tries to turn away down the left-hand side, and he actually used too much physicality there, Jorginho
we should
Rutter.
get a replay now, though, hopefully.
So Oliver Langford gives a free kick to Stoke City, but he's at the centre of the incident we've just seen here, where Daniel James tried to profit on a poor touch from Daniel Everson.
It's a penalty. It doesn't get the first touch. It doesn't get the ball. It's a penalty.
Yeah. Well,
look at this. Look.
Yeah.
It doesn't get the ball. It's, in all fairness, it's very, very difficult in real time, I think, for the referee to see it. If he's not 100%, he cannot give that. So I have a little bit of sympathy with the referee. I do think it's a penalty.
Well, me too. Well, you know,
having seen it again. But watching that in real time, it's very, very difficult, I think, to say, yes, 100% that is a penalty. Although that is what I said.
You did. Danny Mills alongside me, Ian Danter at Ellen Road. We've played nearly 13 minutes. Kidderminster have just taken the lead at Woking in the National League. Jack Lambert for Kiddie. And Stoke work the ball back to Daniel Everson, who's had that little awkward moment but appears to have recovered from that. No penalty given for that challenge on Daniel James. He came flying in at him after his first touch. Everson really let him down. Altrincham now 2-0 up on Dorking Wanderers in the National League. Plenty of goals in the National League tonight.
Well, that's old school, isn't it?
Yeah, proper long clearance from hands
and it's
downfield.
It's landed on the D at the other end of the pitch.
You don't see that from goal kicks very often. It's all play out from the back and two centre-halves along with the goalkeeper in his own penalty area. That was
proper route one.
Yeah. But it didn't mean anything for Stoke City because offside, in fact a foul was given against Niall Ennis for just pushing into the back of the Leeds defender. So Leeds have a free kick which they've worked back to Ilan Meslier, edge of his own penalty area, right-footed clearance downfield, looking for Bamford, who's backing into Wilmot, gets the flick on. James is after it, but Lyndon Gooch got there first. Out comes Everson. He gets there well ahead of Daniel James that time and clears downfield. Sunderland 0, Leicester City 1. Jamie Vardy is having a party up at the Stadium of Light. And Leicester, 3 straight league defeats, are in front on Wearside. 0-0 here at Ellen Road. Leeds have a chance to go second tonight if they get the win here and Ipswich fail to beat Bristol City. Now there's offside just gone up against Josh Laurent actually down the right hand side of the area, and as you just heard from Danny Mills, he's not sure that flag should have gone up.
It was a really good move. Some of it was closing the full-back down and he just turned it. You thought he was going to go down the line, he didn't. He turned it inside and there was a dummy. Very, very clever. The linesman put his flag up for second centre forward coming in. Ennis coming in to pick the ball up and turn it around the corner. I'm not convinced. When that ball was played, I'm not sure the referee was looking at the second man.
Quarter of an hour gone on Talksport 2. Leeds United 0, Stoke City 0 at Ellen Road. Pivotal game at both ends of the championship. Now Baijun Ho's look very lively in these early stages, the South Korean. Little toe poke ball through from Laurent, and then it's worked out to Manhoef, right hand side, right hand corner of the box. Gets onto his left foot, thinks about dinking the ball into the area, still has it, then hits it against Sam Byram. Is that going to screw out for a corner? Now Byram prevents the corner, slides into the corner flag, which is going to have to be replaced, and Stoke City will have a throw in right by that corner flag on this near side at the Norman Hunter end, 0-0.
Manhoef looks decent as well, in all honesty. He looks a bright, live little player.
He moved from Vitesse in...
No right foot.
No.
And clearly Leeds players have looked at that because they showed him down the outside there onto his right foot and he was like, nah, I have to come inside onto my left.
He joined from Vitesse in the Eredivisie in January. Million Manhoef, great name. Just 22 years of age. Dutch under-21 attacker. So the throw-in is whipped into the box by Hoover. Only half cleared by Leeds. Will it drop for Ben Wilmot? It will. In fact, he'll leave it for Michael Rose, who'll just loft the ball up to the edge of the Leeds area, but Byram heads it down for Daniel James. Kamara is set upon by Lewis Baker, and then another ball hit over the top by Michael Rose, looking for the flick on from Lawrence, and it comes out to this near side. where it's kept in play by Hoover. And Manhoof plays the ball in field. And the free kick given for the challenge on Laurent by Gruyev as Mansfield take the lead against MK Dons. Stephen Quinn for the Stags, who've won 5 out of 6. 3 points clear of Stockport and Wrexham at the top of League 2. Is this finally going to be Nigel Clough's year to get automatic promotion for the Stags? York 1, AFC Fyle 1 elsewhere in the National League. So free kick for Stoke here, Danny Mills. Chance to swing the ball into the Leeds danger area.
And that's what they've got to use. Use every opportunity. Put quality into the box. What I see here, don't try and wazz it in as fast as you possibly can with spin and all sorts of it. Give your centre forwards, give your defenders a chance to go and head it. Take a little bit of pace off it.
Lewis Baker whips it in beautifully and it's headed over the top. Oh, that was a big chance for Stoke City. It was a beautifully swinging cross. It had just the sort of pace you were talking about there. And it was Kiana Hoover who was furthest forward, but as Meslier was out of his ground, headed it way over the crossbar. Goal kick, 0-0.
He's got to do a lot better in that situation. I think he had one eye on the goalkeeper. He saw the goalkeeper started to come and then panicked a little bit.
Wouter Berger clips the ball over the top looking for Lewis Baker, but that's come.
Did you hear the crowd? What were 17, 18 minutes in?
Yep.
And there was 1 or 2 groans and moans from the crowd. This is what can happen. Stoke are doing okay at the moment. This crowd can be... It's a tough audience. They are. It's hard to please this crowd at times.
They'll let you know. Rutter giving chase down the Leeds right-hand side, but Wilmot comes across to put it out of play for a throw. Leeds' last home defeat was on the final day of the Premier League season last year when Tottenham won by 4-1. So no one has beaten them here in the Championship so far this season. 13 wins and 4 draws in their 17 matches here so far this campaign. Scoring 38 and conceding just 12. Now Berger wins it back for Stoke. Sends it up to Manhoof over the halfway line. He's got no real support from anybody else in the Stoke side, and Glenn Kamara's won it back. And now Somerville wriggles away from Wouter Berger on the halfway line and works it back to Connor Roberts. Wouter Berger's got the look of Sander Berger. Slightly different spelling, but he's got that tall, rangy look about him, isn't he, as a central midfielder? Cheltenham 0, Charlton 1. That's a big game towards the bottom of League One. Charlton in 18th, lead through Daniel Kanu at the Completely Suzuki. Approaching the 20-minute mark here at Ellen Road on Talksport 2.
Stoke have got to be careful.
Yep.
Their game plan so far has worked really well. They've got to be careful not to get too carried away and suddenly think, oh, this is going well, let's start attacking a little bit more. Let's push up, let's try and do something a little bit more adventurous and then come unstuck. No, stick to your game plan. Get to another 10 minutes, get to 30 minutes.
Well, Connor Roberts making strong run down the right-hand side, sends it into the area, and Ben Wilmot touches it behind for Leeds' second corner of the game at the Revienne to our left, 0-0.
I think that's the difference, Dance, when you talk about Premier League quality. That ball there, Bamford was free at the far post. If that's a Premier League winger, you expect them to put that into the space, and Bamford's going to tap in. Connor
Roberts is, to all intents and purposes, a Premier League winger.
He's not. He's in the Championship.
But you know what I mean?
No.
Here comes the corner from James into the near post. It's smuggled away by Stoke City, and Hoover again is bringing the ball forward. Only Bai Jun-ho ahead of him. So he gets up to the halfway line. He's now faced up by Glenn Kamara, and he works his way past one, but can't get past Gruyev. Brilliant defensive work from the Bulgarian. Now here's Daniel James down the right for Leeds United. Down the right-hand side of the area, hits the ball against Gooch. He goes out of play for a throw. MK Dons equalise at Mansfield. That's 1-1 at the one call now. Alex Gilby scores for MK, who of course lost at their bitter rivals AFC Wimbledon on Saturday. Stoke clear their lines just out of the area. Josh Laurent was immediately being closed down by Gruyev, but they neatly worked it out to the Stoke left-hand side, and Gooch gets good distance on the clearance downfield. Bamford tries to control a very difficult ball, and then there's a foul on Rutter, giving Leeds United a free kick about 10 yards into the Stoke half. You're listening to Leeds 0, Stoke 0 in the EFL Championship on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. It's 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Ian Danter and Danny Mills is alongside me tonight.
Leeds just not been able to find that final pass yet. Just need a bit more quality in the final third, a bit more composure. Got into 2 or 3 really good positions, haven't been able to pick the cross or the final pass.
And as you say, that's credit to the way Stoke have been set up.
Yeah, it is, but also, we talked about it earlier, that the gap between the Premier League and the Championship is growing all the time. How many...
Well, Roberts trying to get in behind Bajan Ho, and he's got it. Across the area, flicked away by Wilmot, and then headed behind by Herver with Somerville just behind him. That was a better ball from Connor Roberts into the area, and they've taken the short corner quickly at the far side. Daniel James works it back to Roberts, level with the edge of the area. Little ball down the right-hand side. James trying to get the better of Bajan Ho. He keeps hold of it, then has to run away from the penalty area. Roberts digs that across. Up goes the head from Sam Byram, and that's a very comfortable save for Daniel Everson. 0-0 it stays on Talksport 2.
Again, it's that just a little bit of lack of quality in the final third so far. Just need a little bit more composure. And that's why I say that the difference between the Championship and the Premier League is growing all the time. Look at this Leeds team. How many of these players do you think would look comfortable? Or if they got promoted with this team, how many players would look comfortable in the Premier League? We saw how good Burnley were. We saw how good what Luton did, what Sheffield United, and look how they've struggled.
Brilliant skill from Somerville down the left-hand touchline with barely any room to work in. Tries to get to the dead ball line, goes down cheaply. That was never going to be a penalty, despite the protest from the Revienne to our left. That's a goal kick to Stoke City.
He stumbled, and then went down. I think he turned to the referee and went, "No, I didn't mean to go down." He trips himself over.
But it's the $64 million question when it comes to, would this team survive in the Premier League? You just don't know what sort of business a team might do. And you can draw on the experience of Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, who went up in 2014.
But
barely made any additions and stayed up.
That's 10 years ago.
Yes, okay.
That doesn't happen now. Dan James has had a go in the Premier League. Didn't really work out for him.
I just think it's dangerous.
Ampadu's been in there. Didn't work out for him.
I just think it's dangerous to look at the 3
Byram's
teams who are struggling in the Premier League now.
I don't. I look at the. If this Leeds team get promoted, they are going to have to add 5 or 6 quality players.
I think that's fair.
At least.
Coventry 2, Rotherham 0. Joe Latibeaudiere putting Coventry further clear. They've lost back-to-back in the Championship for Mark Robbins, but that's...
But what that means, Dan, that means spending all your promotion budget on players.
Now, ball lobbed over the top by Rutter. Bamford's in behind, left-hand side of the area. Great shot, great save. Everson pushed it out. Bamford got a shot away from a very tight angle, and Everson had to plunge quickly to his left and keep it out one-handed. 0-0.
Was it me, Danter? Did the goalkeeper react really late to that?
Well, Roberts again coming down the right-hand side for Leeds United. Bamford waiting for a cross. Rutter now joining him. Just over the head of Rutter, is it? Oh, he put it over the bar. Just couldn't get over the top of the head of Jorginho Rutter. 6 yards out, but that's better from Leeds United. It is, though, a Stoke goal kick, 0-0.
It's a better ball in. He's got to hit the target. It's pretty much a free header. He's coming onto it. He's got a free leap. People will say he gets challenged, but he gets challenged after he heads the ball. But just before that, there's only one thing Patrick Bamford can do, and that's shoot. Everson, the goalkeeper, looked surprised when he shot, then seemed to dive down for it really late. I'm thinking Bamford shooting here. Goalkeeper didn't seem to recognise that.
But he made a good save nonetheless. Peterborough equalise against Northampton. Efren Mason-Clark gets his 13th of the season to bring Posh level. 1-1 there, 0-0 here at Ellen Road with 25 minutes gone on Talksport 2 in this first half. Leeds in possession with Joe Rodon, who gets to the midway point of his own half but then rolls the ball back.
Joe Rodon
to Melier
has had a chance in the Premier League. Byram's had a chance in the Premier League. Roberts had a chance in the a lot of these players have had a chance and not been able to cut it in the Premier League. That's what I'm saying, Dance.
Well, Rodon, I don't think got enough of a chance at Tottenham. I think he was a little bit misused, I'm being honest.
It's a big step up.
It is.
And that's what I'm saying, that's the worry for all the Championship sides, even Leicester. Even Southampton, the teams that have been able to keep the majority of their squad, to go up and be able to compete, you've got to have a real big spend, or your recruitment has to be unbelievable.
Exactly, and Burnley spent a lot, and it did them no good at all.
They also lost quite a few players.
Well, there were a few. Nathan Teller was important for them, and of course he's. But
that's the difficulty that you have.
Now here's Daniel James scampering away into the inside left channel, into the areas ahead of Wilmot, hits the ball against Everson, deflects behind. Corner kick again to Leeds United. Daniel James switching wings for the moment on the left-hand side. He got ahead of Wilmot, but a good save from Everson. 0-0.
He's so quick. Runs in behind. Players can't get near him, can't touch him. But again, I think he's got to do better in that situation. He hits the goalkeeper rather than makes the goalkeeper make a save.
James will take the corner into this near post. It's volleyed away at the near post, only as far as Crescencio Somerville. Works it down this left wing again for Daniel James, up against Manhoof. Gives it back to Somerville. Urged to shoot as he gets to the edge of the area. Tries to get on his right foot. Blocked by Niall Ennis back defending. And they managed to get it half clear, but Leeds have won it back. 0-0. James then gives it, or tries to give it to Sam Byron, but overhits the pass. Kept in play by Manhoof. Barnsley won, Bolton 0 in that big game in League One, 4th against 3rd.
Stoke don't look aside, by the way, that are in the bottom 3.
No, they don't. Here's Daniel James coming forward again. 27 minutes gone, 0-0. Runs into Wouter Berger, who gets an important touch. James will keep it in play on this near side, the left. 10 yards from the dead ball line. Swings it in right-footed, straight into the chest of Wouter Berger, and cleared away for a throw. So yeah, Barnsley 1, Bolton 0 in League One. John McAtee. And back in the Championship, Hull City 1, Birmingham City 0. Ozan Tufan puts Hull ahead of the MKM. Hull starting the night in 6th. 5 unbeaten for Liam Rosenior, although a couple of draws in a row. Leeds throw the ball back to their own goalkeeper, Ilan Meslier, and Peterborough have turned it around. Now they lead Northampton 2-1.
Mr. Durham will be very happy.
Mr. Durham is going round the grounds on Talksport right now. Will now know that Kwame Opoku has put Peterborough 2-1 ahead at the Western Homes. Here at Ellen Road, we're approaching the half-hour mark. 28 gone. Leeds United 0, Stoke City 0 on Talksport 2. Bamford just toe-ins the ball away from Lewis Baker. Gruev by the centre circle floats the ball out to this near side, the Leeds left, and Byram. Back it goes to Ampadu. Leeds attacking the Revy end to our left in this first half. Lovely quick feet from Jorginho Rutter. Tries to run past Kiana Hoover, who did well, but Leeds have kept possession. Crescencio Somerville out on this near touchline. Rolls his foot on the ball a couple of times. Lovely skill. And works it back to Ampadu on halfway. Coventry 3, Rotherham 0. Rotherham's woes continue at the bottom of the table, and Ellis Sims has his second and Coventry's third. Daniel James in the centre of the Stoke half finds Connor Roberts. He's dispossessed, is he, by Baijun Ho? Goes down. No foul, says the referee, but Leeds have kept possession. Glenn Kamara gives it back to Gruev on halfway. Working hard, Leeds United. Grafting.
Yeah, they are, but equally so is Stoke. You know, they've got a game plan at the moment. Leeds have had a couple of half chances, but I think Stoke will be relatively happy.
Lovely pass from Bamford. Glenn Kamara, left-hand corner of the penalty area. Moves in field. They say shoot, but he finds James in space inside the area. Takes it on his right onto his left, and the left-footed shot is saved by Everson. He had all the time in the world to shoot with his right, but Daniel James checked onto his left, and that allowed Everson to make a save. Another Leeds United corner, 0-0.
I don't know why he checked onto his left foot. The ball comes across. Maybe it's not the greatest of touches, Dant. If he's aware, he allows that to come across his body a little bit more.
Short corner, Somerville clips the ball into the area. Kamara with his back to goal, can't turn away from Baijun Ho, but Stoke only get it half clear. Kamara back heels it out to this near side, and Sam Byram level with the edge of the area. Gruev gets barged into by Niall Ennis. Good work from the Stoke number 14.
It's a great opportunity, Dance, for Dan James.
It was a great chance,
but he's got to have that touch. Just almost let it come across him onto his right foot and then hit it. Because he cuts inside, it gives the goalkeeper a chance, the defender, to put him under a little bit of pressure, and he doesn't hit it cleanly. Plus his right foot is his stronger foot.
Rutter coming in field from the right wing for Leeds, finds Somerville, dummy at the edge of the area. Byram runs onto it, across the face of goal, and turned behind by Michael Rose this time. Leeds piling on the pressure. Their 5th corner of the half. Half an hour gone, 0-0.
Yeah, Stoke got to be careful now. You know, not too many clear-cut chances created so far.
And another short corner.
But it's chance after chance.
Work back to Glenn Kamara, edge of the area, urged to shoot. Steps inside, takes a drive, and it hits Niall Ennis, who blocks it well at the edge of the area. You heard the Leeds fans urging Glenn Kamara to shoot. Well, he had to go for them, but it was a good block from Stoke striker back defending the edge of his own box. 0-0.
And this is the problem so far, isn't it? You know, Leeds, that final ball in hasn't quite worked. You know, 5 shots so far, you know, Leeds have had, but only 1 on target. They've got to start doing better.
Kamara again finds Somerville onside left-hand side, about 10 yards from the dead ball line. Again, rolling his foot on the ball, great skill. Works it infield, plays a 1-2 with Rutter. Fired a shot goalwards from 25 yards out. Again, it was blocked by a dark blue Stoke shirt, but it comes out to halfway and Leeds have possession once again. Real Sociedad 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1. Kylian Mbappe making it 3-0 on aggregate to the Parisians in that Champions League round of 16 second leg. Bayern Munich Lazio, the other
nice little breather for Stoke. They've got the free kick.
Yeah.
Right, the goalkeeper jogs over to the ball. It's right on the far touchline. Why should he sprint? Where in the rules does it say you have to run to the ball? You don't.
No, well, you know, it's the referee's discretion whether unsportsmanlike conduct is being practised by either side at any point in the game. Everson clips the free kick downfield for Stoke, looking for Ennis, but it's his opposite number, Roden, the other number 14 out there, that gets the header clear. Might drop for Lewis Baker, but Rutter turns away quite brilliantly. It'll be Cruyff turn inside his own half, and he set Daniel James away right hand side. Bamford calling for it in the area. Somerville there too. Daniel James still has it, gets inside the area. Leeds United hit the front, and Daniel James gets his 11th goal of the season, and Leeds United are asking questions of those around them in the race for a place in the Premier League. Maybe that goal could take Leeds back into the automatics, but it's been coming. 33 minutes gone. Leeds 1, Stoke 0.
Oh, it's a magnificent strike. I thought the chance had gone. He came on to his left foot, then went back onto his right foot. 3 Stoke players. I think it takes little deflection.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going wide before it nicks in, because it only just goes inside the far post. We need to see a better angle. But it looks like it's going to go on his right. He cuts inside his left, back onto his right foot, fires the shot on the angle into the far corner. It definitely takes a little deflection, which I think does the goalkeeper. Leeds won't complain though, they're 1-0 up.
So Daniel James has his 11th championship goal of the season, and you can almost hear that sigh of relief around Ellen Road.
We need a bit of fortune sometimes, and that little deflection I think just takes it away from the goalkeeper.
Back underway on Talksport 2 with just over 10 minutes to the break, and now the Leeds fans full of song.
Well, they needed that because the Leeds crowd were just starting to get a little bit edgy. You could hear it, you could feel it.
Oh, lovely skill from Bai Chun-ho on that far left-hand side for Stoke as the visitors try to respond. Here is Bai Chun-ho again, edge of the area, plays it in looking for Baker, almost found its way through to him, but good defending from Ethan Ampadu, and then he was fouled as he tried to bring the ball clear. And a free kick to Leeds United inside their own half. More live football tomorrow across our network. Champions League on Talksport, 8 o'clock kickoff. Manchester City already 3-1 up against FC Copenhagen. I'll be at St Mary's down on the south coast tomorrow with Alvin Martin. Southampton, one of the other sides bidding for automatic promotion out of this division against playoff chasing Preston. That's a 7:45 kickoff on Talksport 2. And then we've got a couple of games in the Europa League for you on Thursday. Sparta Prague Liverpool on Talksport 2 at 5:45, and Freiburg West Ham at 8 o'clock. That's over on Talksport. Ian Danter and Danny Mills with you at Ellen Road. Leeds 1-0 up then, and having settled a few nerves, Sam Byram comes forward, tries to find Somerville, but has the ball taken off his toe by Manhoof. But again, great tenacious work from Grief, stopping Stoke getting over the halfway line, but the visitors have won it back. Manhoof will actually win a throw off Ethan Ampadu.
This is where Leeds need to show a little bit of calmness, a little bit of experience. Don't have to go and score the second within 5 minutes. They're in control now. You know, it's not really a problem. Stoke haven't had too much of an attacking threat. Just keep the ball for a little bit. Just calm down, settle back into the game, get control of the game.
Yeah, 9 minutes of the first half remaining, plus whatever Oliver Langford wants to add on for stoppages. Daniel James with the strike. Not long after he thought he might have won a penalty for Leeds early on in the piece after a dreadful touch from Stoke goalkeeper Daniel Everson. Chopping challenge from Josh Laurent on Rutter. who's writhing around in agony, Rutter, inside his own half.
How's that not a yellow card?
Well, Oliver Langford's certainly going to have a word with Josh Lawrence. In fact, he is reaching for his top pocket.
Say, yeah.
It will be.
That was a yellow card back in my day.
Is a yellow card for the former Reading man for Stoke City. A few Leeds players going out to warm up at the dead ball line, down to our left-hand side. Taking the acclaim, Rutter is just getting some treatment down beneath us. We've got some Super League for you as well on Thursday night on Talksport 2, whilst the Freiburg West Ham game is on Talksport. We're at Hull KR against Warrington Wolves in the early weeks of the new Super League season. Craig Murdoch will be your commentator for that one. That's here on Talksport 2, 7:45. And then we're back with Leeds on Friday night in the EFL for Yorkshire Derby, South against West. Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Talksport 2. Adam Bridge and Neil Redfern will be your commentary team up at Hillsborough. So far in the Championship, Rutter's still getting some treatment, so you've missed none of the action here. Blackburn Millwall still 0-0. Coventry 3 up against Rotherham. Hull 1 up against Birmingham. Sheffield Wednesday Plymouth is still goalless. Sunderland 0. The leaders Leicester 1. And Ipswich Bristol City, that's still goalless. So I'm pretty sure I have it right, Danny Mills. As it stands, with this 1-0 lead that Leeds have, they are going back above Ipswich Town on goal difference to go into second place in the Championship. As long as Ipswich drop points and Leeds win, that's what will happen. Coventry have got a 4th against Rotherham. Ellis Sims has a first half hat-trick for the Sky Blues. And Rutter just being led off the field. He's just jogging up and down, making sure he's going to be okay to come back on. But he'll have to wait 30 seconds because he's had treatment. And we're back underway on Talksport 2. The ball's back with Ilan Meslier. 1-0 the score to Leeds. Meslier just brings the ball under control. Feints to pass out to Ampadu to his left, but instead goes long down the centre of the field looking for Bamford. But whoever gets in front of him, Ennis does well for Stoke, guides it down for Lewis Baker. There's plenty forward for Stoke in this move. Baker at the centre of the half, goes for goal, and Meslier tips it over. Fantastic effort from Lewis Baker from fully 35 yards out, and it might have been dipping under the crossbar, and Meslier made a good save. Corner to Stoke.
I think it was going under the crossbar. It's a great strike. Mellier's fortunate, it's straight at him. It's right down the middle of the goal. It's one of those strikes where he's almost hit it too well.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to either pull it slightly in one corner or cut across it, a little bit of slice, bit of fade into the other corner. Strikes it perfectly, unfortunately for him, straight at the goalkeeper.
1-0 to Leeds, but Stoke have a corner at the Norman Hunter stand end. Baker to take it, right-footed outswinger deep to the far post. It'll drop at the edge of the area. Berger takes a drive and it goes through a crowd of players and deflects off his own teammate. Bai Jun Ho, and out of play for a Leeds goal kick away to our right. Stays 1-0 to the home side here on Talksport 2. Looks a clean strike from Wouter Berger as well.
Protest that should have been...
Oh, it hit Josh Laurent. I don't know what they're protesting about, really.
Not sure what it hit.
Certainly hit Josh Laurent. Looked like it was on the shoulder. Anyway, it's all semantics. Goal kick given. And Meslier clips it downfield left-footed. Bamford gets a good flick header on it, and it drops for Somerville on this near side, midway point of the Stoke City half, into the last 5 minutes of normal time at the end of this first period. Ampadu plays the ball across to his centre-half partner, Roden, and he looks early for Daniel James, who's got Connor Roberts making a strong run ahead of him. Barrow 1, Gillingham 0 in League 2. That's 8th against 7th. Just 1 point off the Gills at the start of the night, Barrow and James Chester.
Is that a local derby? That's not a million miles away from each other.
Oh, ha.
There you go, that is one for the listeners, Dance. What's the furthest a team has to go in any league in the world, but in the same league? I'm not talking about European competition or Club World Cup. There you go. I don't know the answer.
Carlisle Exeter's got to be a bit of a jaunt. Here's Manhoof down the right-hand side of the penalty area for Stoke, cutting in field, gets it onto his left foot. The shot is blocked at source. They haven't quite got it clear yet, Leeds United. Berger trying some quick feet at the edge of the area, doesn't come off for him, and Leeds clear. And Daniel James nutmegs his man, and he's away down the right-hand side. There's two forward in support. James gets to the right-hand corner of the box, gets his head up, clips the ball into the area over the head of Bamford, and Stoke tidy up and get the ball clear before a foul by Hoover on Glenn Kamara gives Leeds a free kick in a dangerous position. About 25-30 yards out to the left of centre. 1-0 Leeds.
Just want Leeds to make more of these opportunities that they're creating. Another great break by Dan James down the right-hand side. Got a little bit fortunate, to start with. Fortunate nutmeg, a little bit of a ricochet through the legs, but then was in good space. Maybe he didn't quite pick the right pass again, but now they've got a free kick. I mean, it's a difficult angle.
Yeah, it's to the left of centre. It's probably halfway between the edge of the D and the corner of the penalty area to the left of centre, so it favours a right-footed strike. Everson's just setting up a 5-man Stoke City wall.
I might fancy Ian Hart from here back in the day.
He could take them from anywhere.
But I'm looking at those Leeds play. I'm thinking this is more likely a cross, because I think you've got to go near post, and the goalkeeper should read that over the wall.
Somerville and James in conversation. Gruyev is standing near to where that free kick's going to be taken as well.
It's too far to go in the far post, if that makes sense.
Up steps Somerville, who'll leave it for James, who rolls it into the area. Bamford turns, tries to get the shot away, and it's deflected and makes the save easy for Everson. So they did try and work something off the training ground, and it nearly paid off for Leeds, but as it is, Bamford's shot is ricocheted and makes an easy save in the end for the goalkeeper. 1-0 to Leeds.
Yeah, I always thought the direct shot was going to be difficult. Clever little move. Patrick Bamford sort of stood not interested to start with, and they just played it into him. Good touch at the ad. Stoke reacted well and just managed to get something on it to deflect it towards the goalkeeper, take all the pace out of it.
Ampadu tries to clear, hits it against Niall Ennis, but he cushions a brilliant header back as it dropped out of the sky to his goalkeeper Meslier. That's what the round of applause you can hear is for very calm defending by the young Welshman. Here's Glenn Kamara for Leeds, just over the halfway line. Minute and a half of normal time to go. Rutter started to make a run down the right-hand side of the box, but wasn't used.
Just looking at that, Dan, there's this constant messing about with new laws and new rules and trying to make the game more exciting, whatever. Why don't you say the goalkeeper cannot pick it up when it's headed back or passed back? Surely that would be one of the most simple things to make the game more interesting, more lively, without talking about stupid blue cards, orange cards, this, that and the other.
I have to admit, you think about when you and I first started watching football, you could just pass the ball back to the goalkeeper and they could pick it up.
It's the only reason I was a decent defender. Go 1-0 up and kill the game off. But don't you think, when you talk about changing that's not a dramatic law change, is it?
Well, compared to blue cards, no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you look at some of the other ridiculous things that they're trying to bring in and what they've tried to bring in over the years, that actually, because suddenly, if you head it back to the goalkeeper, he's got to deal with it. You might have to turn and hook it out of play. Suddenly, it changes the game without really changing the laws too much.
Leeds trying to keep the ball in play on the far side of the field, but Rodent couldn't hook it down the touchline. So Stoke have a throw, level with the Leeds penalty area. We're into the added period almost here on Talksport 2. In fact, the fourth official, James Linnington, just getting to the touchline, holds up 3 minutes on his board. That's what we're into now at the end of this first half. Leeds 1-0 up through Daniel James' fierce right-footed strike that might have taken a nick off a Stoke boot to take the ball past Daniel Everson. But Stoke have worked hard in this first half, and now Leeds have won it back. Kamara breaking over halfway, tries to release Somerville down the left-hand side, but Keanu Hoover comfortably there first, rolls it back to his keeper. He's asking a lot of Everson, but he actually did quite well to get the ball downfield, but Leeds have won it back. Jorginho Rutter, centre of the Stoke half, works it to his right for Roberts. Now James. Roberts has gone again down the right side of the area, but again not used. James holding on to the ball, plays it in field to Jorginho Rutter. Great strength, clips the ball down the right hand side of the box. James pulls it back across the face of goal, but the flag's gone up against Daniel James. He's offside. 1-0 here, goals elsewhere. Peterborough 3, Northampton 1. Joel Randall for the Posh. And down in League 2, Bradford 0, Doncaster 1. Luke Molyneux has put Doncaster ahead at Valley Parade.
Is that a local derby, Dan? So it's not.
It's Yorkshire, so it's not local.
Well, I'm just saying, if
no, you're on one tonight, aren't you?
If Northampton Peterborough's a local derby,
roughly.
What else?
I did say roughly. I didn't say exactly. It's not like Dundee United, where you can practically touch the stand of one ground from the other.
Well, it's not as close as Milan, though, is it?
That's true. Down the left-hand side, Stoke have a throw. Just a hush falling over Ellen Road. People contemplating.
Bit of relief, I think.
Yeah.
I think they had all the possession, created a lot of half chances, couldn't find that little bit of quality. And in the end, Dan James, I thought the chance had gone, twisted one way, then the other, cut back. And just a tiny little deflection, I think, just takes it away from Everson into the corner.
Blackburn 0, Millwall 0 at half-time. So too Sheffield Wednesday 0, Plymouth Argyle 0. Baijun Ho wins a free kick as Griev clatters into him on the halfway line. So a chance at the end of this first half for Stoke to get the ball up to the edge of the Leeds penalty area. And Baijun Ho will leave it for Lewis Baker to take. Baker, who's come as close as anybody for Stoke in this first half to getting them level. Brilliant effort from downtown that was tipped over the bar by Meslier. It's worked out to Hoover. And now Manhoof. Oh, he nutmegs Bamford. Gets away down the right-hand side. Clips the ball deep to the far post. Meslier claims well, falls backwards and holds on to it. Good goalkeeping. 1-0 Leeds.
Told you he's all left-footed. Did magnificently to Manhoof to nutmeg Patrick Bamford. Great little bit of skill. And then really just had to swing it in with his right foot and got it completely wrong. But Leeds will be delighted to be 1-0 up at half-time.
Yeah, you just heard the whistle from Oliver Langford. Leeds United, as it stands with Ipswich drawing against Bristol City, are going back into the automatic spots in the Championship with this scoreline. It was a really tough first half for Leeds. Stoke putting up quite a fight to resist what Leeds threw at them, but then they had a bit of a spell around the half-hour, Leeds United, where they forced a couple of corners, and eventually Daniel James put them in front, receiving the ball at the edge of the area, cutting in field, looked like he was going to shoot on his left, back onto his right, and the shot from the right-hand side of the penalty area took a slight nick off a Stoke boot, taking it beyond Daniel Everson, who very nearly conceded a penalty early on after a poor touch from him, allowed Daniel James to get right on top of him. But that was 1-0 to Leeds. Stoke's best chance went to Lewis Baker with a left-footed shot from the centre of the half that Meslier did well to turn over the bar. And so, Danny Mills, at the break, it's Leeds United 1, Stoke City 0.
Yeah, Leeds will be very, very pleased with that. You could tell there was a little bit of frustration growing from the crowd. They were a little bit anxious, having a lot of possession, getting in good positions, couldn't quite get that final ball right. And then Dan James, who spurned a couple of earlier opportunities, went one way, twisted back onto his left foot, thought the chance had gone, back onto his right foot, hit a good sweet strike, and as you say, just nicked one of the defenders, and I think that just took it into the far corner, away from the goalkeeper. I think Leeds will be very, very relieved. But Stoke, they've done okay. They're still in this. They haven't offered too much of an attacking threat, but they're still in it. So there's no great panic for them as yet. Leeds are still going to have to be on it second half. I think they'll come out, take their time, enjoy themselves, and make sure that they just do things right and go away with 3 points. That is the most important thing that they can do in this game.
As it is, Leeds are going second in the Championship if scorelines stay as they are. Full second half commentary to come from here at Ellen Road with me, Ian Danter and Danny Mills. You'll hear from Pep Guardiola and Erling Haaland at half-time ahead of Manchester City's Champions League game tomorrow night, live on Talksport. But for now, the half-time score here in West Yorkshire is Leeds United 1, Stoke City 0.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Fancy a filet-o-fish in time for the final whistle? Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
Modern football is all about control. Controlling the ball, controlling possession, controlling the game. If you ever feel that gambling is starting to control you, help is available right now at talkbanstop.com. Thousands of people have taken advantage of free support and practical tools, like GamBan, which blocks your devices from accessing gambling websites and apps, and GamStop, which will stop you signing up to any UK registered gambling website. Take control of your recovery. Search Talk, Ban, Stop.
At Honda, we've been engineering cars for over 75 years, actually. We know that excellence takes time. So you can rely on the Honda engineering in the all-new ENY1, with a range of up to 250 miles on a single charge and up to 5 years warranty, servicing and roadside assistance. Our first electric SUV, the ENY1. Oh, a hole-in-one.
Yes!
Honda, the power of dreams. Range based on test conditions and may vary.
You're walking home from nursery. Your biceps are burning. Your toddler's decided that he hates his pram and he must be carried. You, baby mama, are exercising. Thanks to your Samsung Galaxy Watch 6, you know you've been active for 146 minutes. And since it's paired with your Samsung phone, you know 27 of those were high intensity. Sure, you didn't go to the gym, but that sweat is still sweat. Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 for extreme lifeness. Compatible smartphone required.
With Now, you can stream all the drama from the Premier League instantly and without a contract.
The stuff that dreams are made of!
This Sunday, title rivals collide as Liverpool take on Manchester City at Anfield. Get all Sky Sports channels for a day or a whole month with a Now Sports membership. Stream Liverpool versus Manchester City live this Sunday from 3:45 with Now.
18 plus Sky Sports content streamed via internet. Full terms apply.
When it comes to goals, momentum matters. It's about making a start and moving forward, step by step, day by day. That's why at NatWest, we've partnered with Team GB, because like our nation's top athletes, we want to help you get off the blocks, keep pushing and get to where you want to be. So, whatever your goals, let's get going. Tomorrow begins today with NatWest, proud partner of Team GB. Search NatWest Team GB to get started.
With LV, I can get my car insurance from just £299, which is just the kind of price I'm looking for right now. And if I'm hit by an uninsured driver, I won't lose my no-claim discount, because insurance is simple when it's me and LV.
No wonder we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. Get your quote today at lv.com. 10% of new customers pay £299 or less August 2023 to January 2024. Uninsured driver promise is non-fault accident only. Other vehicle and driver details required.
Imagine, it's Wednesday. 1 minute you're at the gym, you're doing it, getting those steps in, not thinking about pizza, and definitely not clock watching. Only 56 and a half more minutes left. And the next, that'll do. You're a millionaire. Lotto. Will you be next? Play on app. The National Lottery. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
I've got loads of cash. When I was just a young man, my mama would instill, always be a good boy, don't go out with Brazil. But I met him for a vino, just to watch him buy.
The drinks are on me, everybody.
And now 15 races later, I feel like I could die.
The Cheltenham Festival Survivors Breakfast starts Monday the 11th of March, live from Jackdaw's Castle on Talksport.
Always drink responsibly, begambleaware.org. Don't do what Alan does.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Well, in 2024, Leeds United have been almost perfect. Huddersfield were the first team to take points off them in the Championship. That was Saturday lunchtime at the John Smiths. You heard it live on Talksport when Leeds had to come from behind. Lewis Baker whips it in beautifully and it's headed over the top. Oh, that was a big chance for Stoke City. Lovely pass from Bamford. Glenn Kamara, left-hand corner of the penalty area. Moves in field. They say shoot, but he finds James in space inside the area. Takes it on his right, onto his left. And the left-footed shot is saved by Everson. Ball lobbed over the top by Rutter. Bamford's in behind, left-hand side of the area. Great shot, great save. Everson pushed it out. Bamford got a shot away from a very tight angle. Daniel James still has it. Gets inside the area. Leeds United in the front. And Daniel James gets his 11th goal of the season. And Leeds United are asking questions of those around them in the race for a place in the Premier League. That's the half-time score here at Ellen Road. As Masofi and Danter and Danny Mills look on, the substitutes for both squads out there running through a few drills on the Ellen Road playing surface. Leeds United 1, Stoke City 0. Full commentary of the second half to come. Elsewhere in the Championship, most of these games are half-time except for one. Blackburn 0, Millwall 0. Coventry 4, Rotherham 0. Hull City 1, Birmingham City 0. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Plymouth 0. Sunderland 0, Leicester 1, and they're still playing at Portman Road in the first half. Ipswich 0, Bristol City 0. In League 1 tonight, Barnsley 1, Bolton 0. Cheltenham 0, Charlton 1, and Peterborough 3, Northampton 1. In League 2 tonight, these are all half-times. AFC Wimbledon 0, Grimsby 0. Barrow 1, Gillingham 0. Bradford 0, Doncaster 1. Mansfield 1, MK Dons 1. And Morecambe 0, Crawley 0. In the National League, Altrincham 2, Dorking 0. Barnet 1, Rochdale 0. Gateshead 1, Solihull 2. Oldham 0, Bromley 0. Southend 0, Wealdstone 1. Woking 0, Kidderminster 1. And York 1, AFC Fylde 1. Champions League, Harry Kane has just given Bayern Munich the lead in the first half of that round of 16, second leg against Lazio. That's 1-1 on aggregate, Bayern Munich Lazio. And Real Sociedad 0, PSG 1 at half-time. Kylian Mbappe making it 3-0 on aggregate to the Parisians. And quickly in Scotland in the Championship, half-times Dunfermline 0, Airdrie 1. Greenock Morton 0, Dundee 1. Scottish League 1, Cove 0, the runaway leaders Falkirk 0. And in League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 1, Spartans 1, and Stranraer 4, Dumbarton 0. All at half-time. For tomorrow evening on Talksport, we have live Champions League action for you. The second leg of the round of 16 tie between Manchester City and FC Copenhagen kicks off at 8 o'clock. Let's hear from the Man City boss, Pep Guardiola. Despite winning the competition last season, he feels it's getting harder and harder each year.
Getting better and tougher. Always had the feeling when I arrived in Barcelona the first years, and okay, we arrived semi-finals. Now to reach semi-finals is so difficult. The teams are better, managers are better. Everything is even more difficult when I was a football player and beginning from. But at the end, the better teams always go through. When you play good 2 games, you have more chance to
Does that mean it's probably a bigger achievement to win it now than when you were winning it in charge of Barcelona?
No, I would not say that. Otherwise, I undermine what we achieved in Barcelona. I would not like that. So it was so really good. No, I'm not saying that. So that prize is better than the previous ones. It's not. Every moment is every moment. And what I think is when I was in Barcelona and by Munich here, every title you win or you're there always is difficult. It's not for granted. It's not because it's easy.
And we can also hear from the Manchester City star striker Erling Haaland. After a remarkable debut season for the club last year, he's been discussing the level of expectation on his shoulders as City aim to repeat their Champions League triumph.
Last year's top scorer, I got 36 goals, and this season's top scorer has got, I think, 18 so far. So you can think it in 2 ways, if it's been a good season or not for me. I think we're doing pretty good, as a team. That's my main focus, of course. But yeah, I've been missing. I miss a lot of chances. I will still keep on missing chances. I will still score goals. So yeah, I'll probably miss a big chance in the future as well. And people are going to criticize me. And what can I do then? Should I think of that? No. I should focus on scoring more goals and to help the team.
That's Erling Haaland, Manchester City striker. So that game, Man City against Copenhagen, live on Talksport tomorrow night. Kick-off is at 8, but our coverage starts at 7 p.m. Adrian Durham with Jim Proudfoot and former Manchester City manager Stuart Pearce will be at the Etihad. Here on Talksport 2, at the same time, we'll be in the Championship at St Mary's down on the south coast. Southampton taking on Preston North End. That's a 7:45 kick-off. Here on Talksport 2, I'll have Alvin Martin alongside me. And it's not just live football that the TalkSport network will be keeping you across this week. On Friday night, there happens to be a big fight happening in Saudi Arabia. Will we witness the end, perhaps, of Anthony Joshua's professional boxing career?
Anthony Joshua!
This fight is my everything. My soul, my spirit, my mind, my body.
Right now, I'm not thinking about any championship belts.
I'm just a beginner out here that's going to come as an underdog to win the fight.
Ngannou's no mug. Got to be careful against this guy. You know, you can't just rush in because he's going to throw with you.
This is AJ's hardest fight of all his fights. It's the unknown.
Big right hand from Joshua, and down goes Selenius. Victor Lachlan waves his arms, and the fight is over.
Oh! Fury's down! Oh my Fury God. Is down! Has just happened.
My God.
Losing against Ngannou, it would be a big step back and possibly the end of his career, really.
I heard that he doesn't have a chin. I don't know if it's true or not. I hope I had an opportunity to test that out.
You have to take someone's soul, you have to take their spirit, and I'm looking forward to the challenge for sure. I just want to conquer it and make everyone know that I'm the one who puts boxing on the map.
Talksport then brings you an action-packed weekend of boxing across our platforms. Friday from 9 p.m. for Knockout Chaos, Anthony Joshua taking on Francis Ngannou in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Adam Cattrall, Spencer Oliver will bring you the live watch-along on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel, or you can listen to the fight via DAB, your Alexa, or the Talksport app. And then on Saturday, live and exclusive boxing from 7 p.m. on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel. GBM Sports will bring you not one but two title fights from the Sky Dome in Coventry, and if that's not enough, you can also tune into Fight Night with John Rawling and George Groves on the Talksport main station and YouTube channel from 9 o'clock on Saturday for all the fallout from what goes on in Saudi Arabia on Friday. Talksport really is the home of boxing. And I looked across at Danny Mills as I asked that question, are we going to see the end of Anthony Joshua's professional career? And you're not sure that he's got the goods to see off Ngannou.
I was very impressed with Ngannou in the Fury fight. I mean, that could have easily gone either way. I think you have to be a very, very good judge. And maybe it was right. When you look at the pure stats, maybe Fury did land more. But Ngannou was busy. He was dangerous. He's got speed, he's got power, he's unorthodox, he's awkward. He will have an awful lot of confidence from that fight with Fury. That was his first fight, remember? His first proper boxing match in a ring. Suddenly now, from that, he'll think, oh, you know what? I can do this. It'll give him much more belief. For Anthony Joshua, it's still going to be awkward. It's still going to be unknown. But if Ngannou catches you, I think if you get hit one of those big rights or big lefts, you stay hit. And we've seen before, Anthony Joshua's chin is not the greatest.
That's Friday night on TalkSport. Knockout Chaos in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. AJ against Ngannou, top of the bill. As we just happen to be playing Eye of the Tiger by Survivor as we're talking about boxing.
It's like they knew.
It's like they knew,
Dan.
It's like they knew.
It's like we requested it.
Absolutely. Bayern Munich have turned it around against Lazio. They're now 2-1 up on aggregate, 2-0 on the night. Right on half-time, Thomas Müller makes it 2-0.
Peter Pan has scored.
He is. He's the ageless Thomas Müller.
He's an unbelievable player.
I just think, what's it, South Africa 2010 when he really emerged for the first time?
Yeah, as a teenager.
Yeah, and there we are, 14 years later, and he's still doing it.
Been at Bayern since he was 7, 8 years old, something like that.
Amazing stuff. Back underway here at Ellen Road. Stoke in their dark blue attacking the Revy end, and they're straight on the attack with Bai Jun-ho at the edge of the area, being held up by Gruev. Tries to roll it across the area, drops in for Niall Ennis, and the ball goes behind. The goal kick is given. I'll quickly run you through the lineups as Leeds have a goal kick. Meslier in goal for the hosts. Roberts, Roden, Ampadu, Byram at the back. Gruev and Kamara holding. James, the goal scorer. Rutter and Somerville behind Bamford. For Stoke, it's Everson in goal. Hoover, Rose, Wilmot, Gooch at the back. Lawrence, Berger, Baker in midfield. By Ennis and Manhoof in attack. Morse played to halfway, and Jorginho Rutter can't get the ball away from Michael Rose, but that's good footing from Ilya Gruev. And now Daniel James looks to get to the ball just ahead of the American Lyndon Gooch, but Gooch will clear right-footed downfield, and it'll drift out of play for a Leeds throw on this right-hand side. They've reached half-time at Portman Road, incidentally. That's still 0-0 between Ipswich and Bristol City, a scoreline that, coupled with this scoreline, with Leeds 1 up early in the second half, would put Leeds back into the automatic promotion spots on goal difference ahead of Ipswich.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be some game, is it? Last game of the season. Leeds Southampton.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Is that here?
I think it is here. But a few weeks ago, I think when Southampton were having their wobble, maybe that fixture's not going to matter so much, but Southampton have roared back.
Well, I think it will matter. It might not affect both teams. Both teams, Leeds might be promoted, but Southampton might need something, or it might be the other way around. Southampton can't get into the top two, but Leeds could drop out of it. I think it's going to be a huge game.
Yeah, it's the 4th of May. Here's Somerville trying to burst through the middle of the pitch. It's good defending by Lyndon Gooch, who looked second favourite to get the ball clear, but managed to get something on it as he went to ground. But Leeds have it back with Connor Roberts clipping the ball in field to Glenn Kamara. Rutter again shows good strength to drift away from Baker, slips it to Roberts down the right-hand side of the box, who tried to give it back to Rutter, but Wouter Berger very calmly won the ball back for Stoke City. Gooch just leaves it for Josh Laurent, who was booked in the first half for a pretty crude challenge inside.
No, very crude.
The Leeds half. Very crude.
Even by my standards, very crude.
Ball's played up to Million Manhoof on halfway, who keeps the ball away from Sam Byram and then runs into Daniel James. Which way's that throw going to be given? Well, the assistant on the far side gives it to Leeds United. James goes to tie his shoelaces. It's half-time between Bayern Munich and Lazio now. After that, Thomas Muller second. 2-0 to Bayern on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. And also half-time in the other Champions League tie. Real Sociedad 0, Paris Saint-Germain 1, 3-0 to the Parisians on aggregate. And Barnsley have just scored a second against Bolton. 2-0 they lead. That's fourth against second. Donovan Pines putting Barnsley firmly in control. They're going to go level on points with Bolton by virtue of that scoreline. Here's Ampadu for Leeds United. Out to the left-hand side, and Byram tucks it infield to Patrick Bamford just over the halfway line. He saw that James was starting to make a run. James has started on the left-hand side for Leeds in this second half. Somerville switched to the right, but he was caught on his heels there a little bit, and the ball skimmed through to Daniel Everson in the Stoke goal. 1-0 Leeds.
Leeds have to be professional. They have to be patient, which isn't always easy. It's easy to get swept up in the emotion of this crowd at times, but they've just got to do a job. This isn't about winning games 3-4-0 at this stage of the season. It's about winning. Simple as that. If you win 1-0 every single game from now to the end of the season, so be it. It's not a problem.
Well, it will get nervy if it stays 1-0 throughout the second half and into the closing stages. They'll want a bit of a clear blue water, Leeds fans.
But you can manage and you can control the game even when you're 1-0 up. You don't have to, sort of keep surging forward all the time, desperate to score that second goal. That's when you get caught out. Well,
they've certainly had 71% of possession tonight so far, Leeds United. They really have dominated the ball, and they have the lead. And the little flick from Daniel James almost got Sam Byram away on the left-hand side, but it just ran out of room. But you could hear the Leeds fans appreciated the attempt.
I'm not saying sit back, Dance, and sort of soak it up, but don't try and force it all the time. There's no rush to score this second goal. Just keep playing. They will create chances. They've got good players. They've got most of the possession, but patience is the key.
Throw into Leeds on the far left-hand side of the field. Leeds in all white, attacking the Norman Hunter stand to our right.
I think Stoke are going to make a change as well.
They are as well. Steven Schumacher has turned to his bench. We'll find out who's coming on in just a moment as Million Manhoof gets away down the right-hand side on the halfway line. Looks to feed it forward to Niall Ennis, but Ennis tripped as he tried to latch onto the ball down the inside right position, and Leeds have it back with Connor Roberts making his first championship start for Leeds tonight on loan from Burnley. Bit lax from Leeds on the halfway line. They've given the ball away, and then Kamara pushes into Manhoof to concede a free kick, which Stoke have taken quickly. They work it back to Ben Wilmot in the centre circle. Gooch just to his left, the left back. Out to this near side, and Bai Jun-ho gives it back to Gooch, being hassled and harried by Daniel James. So Wilmot, who's closed down by Bamford, then clips the ball down this near side of the left, looking for Josh Laurent. Headed out of play by Connor Roberts for a Stoke City throw. We've played 6 minutes of the second half on Talksport 2. Leeds 1, Stoke 0. Bai Jun-ho again plays the ball up to the edge of the area. Won't stick with Niall Ennis. Leeds bring it away. It's Ampadu stepping out from the back. Lovely run up to the halfway line. Tries to toe poke it through for Somerville, who slipped as he tried to adjust his footing. And Stoke will have it back in their right back position. Neat ball in field to find Wouter Berger. Josh Lawrence still inside his own half. Gets his head up, plays the ball along the deck, looking for Ennis, who's got Rodon at his back. Does well, Ennis holds it up well, and Berger clips the ball out to Herver. It's a double change at least for Stoke City. Tyrese Campbell's coming on, so too is Ben Pearson, who's got a history of red cards against Leeds United in his Preston days. Double change coming up then for Stoke. We'll find out who for in just a moment. Meantime, here's
offside.
Manhurf onside as he gets to the dead ball line, pulls it across the face of goal, and it's tucked behind for a corner by Ethan Ampadu. But if Millian Manhurf had got his head up then, there were two Stoke players that are pulled away towards the centre of the half where we could have found. Corner, Leeds 1-0 up.
And again, that's probably why these players at the moment are in the Championship, because it's just that final ball, that decision making at times. You've got to be clinical in those situations.
Blackburn 0, Millwall 1. Michael Obafemi for Millwall, looking for 3 straight wins under Neil Harris. Level on points with Blackburn. That's 17th against 18th at the start of the night. Corner kick to Stoke. Manhurf clips it into the near post, headed up in the air by Rutter. Drops at the edge of the box. Roberts allows it to bounce, and he can lob it out of danger, and it will drift out of play on this near side. This will allow the double change to be made by Stoke City, and Ennis is coming off for Campbell. So Tyrese Campbell, the academy graduate, made his debut in the Premier League back in 2018 for Stoke, and Ben Pearson's coming on for Wouter Berger. That's something of a surprise. I don't think Berger had done that much wrong, but Pearson's a much different sort of player.
Yeah, I thought he's played
tenacious
quite well.
Player.
I think he's sat in that midfield, done a decent job in there. Maybe he's just looking for a bit more energy, a bit more of an attacking threat.
Well, here's Josh Laurent trying to get down the left-hand side of the box and barges over Joe Rodon. Free kick to Leeds. Barrow have doubled their lead against Gillingham in that local derby.
Not a million miles away from each other.
Emil Aqua gets the second for the Cumbrians.
Come on, what league game is a million miles in? Not.
Well, Barrow Gillingham's got to be up there. I would say Exeter Carlisle in League One.
There must be a South American game or something.
Oh, I see. Oh, probably.
Yeah,
Chile.
But it has to be a league game.
Yeah.
Can't be a cup game. Got to be in the same division.
Mansfield 1, MK Dons 2. The leaders behind at the 1 call.
I want to know what the furthest distance travelled is for
in a league game anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll set our producer on that one. It's Matthew Dennis that's got the second goal for Milton Keynes. Long ball downfield, trying to get Bamford away for Leeds United. Across came Ben Wilmot and put the ball out of play for a throw to Leeds, taken quickly by Roberts. Nearly 10 minutes gone in the second half. On Talksport 2, Leeds 1, Stoke 0. Grief will clip it into the centre circle for his captain Ampadu. He lays it off just to his left for Byram. Back for Ampadu once again. Plays a little 1-2 with his compatriot Rodon. He'll give it back to Rodon, who strikes it firmly out to this right wing for Daniel James. Back on the right hand side. Wriggles his way in field, Daniel James. Get the shot away! Deflected and wide. For one moment I thought that was wrong footing Everson and going in, but it's gone quite a well way wide in the end. But it is a corner to Leeds at the Norman Hunter end, 1-0.
Yeah, he cut in from this right hand side, had the shot. It's a huge deflection, but it's a bit of an optical illusion. I was similar to you, Dad. I was thinking, is that going to squeak in at the near post? And suddenly it ended up way past the edge of the 6-yard box, 8 or 9 yards wide in the end. But it did certainly look like it could squeak in that corner for a moment.
So a corner where the Norman Hunter meets the John Charles main stand, down to our right. James floats it to the far post. Ampadu gets his head on it. It's half cleared by Herver, and then Manhurf brings it away for Stoke and hits the ball quite intelligently actually against Crescencio Somerville to win Stoke a throw inside their own half, and they can relieve the pressure a little bit. We played 10 minutes of the second half. Leeds 1-0 up. And remember, with Ipswich only drawing with Bristol City at half-time, that game will be getting back underway at Portman Road in a couple of minutes' time or so. If that stays level or Ipswich lose, Leeds will go back second tonight with this scoreline. Southampton play Preston tomorrow night. They're the other team that are interested in an automatic spot. That game is live with us on Talksport 2 tomorrow night. Me and Alvin Martin will be down at St Mary's for you. Ball's back with Ben Wilmot for Stoke, midway point of his own half. Strokes the ball out to Lyndon Gooch on this near touch line. Gooch wanting somebody to go down the line, down this near side, the Stoke left, but there's no one there doing that, so instead Stoke have worked the ball back
Leeds
to
have got
Ben
quite
Pearson.
a tough running, haven't they, Dance? Just looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, Millwall clearly picking up form at the moment. Hull is in there, Coventry's in there, Sunderland will always be up for it, Middlesbrough, and then Southampton the last day. Some tough games in there towards the end of the season.
Here is Kiana Hoover for Stoke, playing the ball into the area. Manhoof takes the touch, sends it across the face of goal, and a hurried clearance from Ampadu. Somerville kept it in play but presented the ball back to Kiana Hoover. Infield it goes to Manhoof at the right hand corner of the box. Stoke attacking the Revie end in this second half in their dark blue away strip, but good defending from Sam Byram takes the ball off Millie Manhoof and then fouls his man. I have correspondence from our producer. According to my research, the answer is Sunderland versus Plymouth for the longest distance league game in the UK.
Oh yeah, I was about to say
667 miles
worldwide. Come on. Pull your finger out, producer.
He's setting you to work, Will.
Keyboard warrior, come on.
No pressure. Leeds 1, Stoke 0.
All he's got to do is Google it, surely. How hard can it be? Or ask Siri or something like that, or ask Alexa.
That's Jeeves. No, that's going back a bit too long.
Yeah.
Ampadu for Leeds United.
You're still on dial-up, you, aren't you?
I am. Ball clipped out to this near side, the right, and Daniel James takes the ball on his instep, but can't get past Lyndon Gooch, who scurries into the Leeds half in this left-back position. And wins a throw in the end, and leapfrogs over the head of Connor Roberts. Just caught him slightly. I don't think Connor Roberts took too kindly to that leapfrog of Lyndon Gooch. Little flick on down the right-hand side, gets Manhoof away. He's faced up by Somerville, drives for the byline, pulls it across the face of goal. Good ball, but nobody in front of goal in Stoke Blue, and Leeds can get it clear, and they still lead 1-0. But that was a moment for Stoke.
Yeah, he's lively, Manhoof, isn't he? You know, down that right-hand side. He was good in the first half, I thought, at times. He's got a little bit about him. Again, it was slightly deflected on the cross, but nobody from Stoke gambled.
Herver into the area, right-hand side. Baker pulling it across the face of goal. It's half deflected. Baker wins it back. Was he caught there by Ampadu? Nothing doing, says Oliver Langford. Stoke have won it back again. And Manhoof works it back to Pearson. Infield for Rose. Pearson back into the centre circle for Wilmot. Best spell of the game for Stoke City by some distance at this point. Approaching the hour mark. 1-0 leads. Gooch on the left-hand side. Drifts in field. Hits a crossfield ball into out to pick out Manhoof by the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Steps in field. Chips it into the area. Baker couldn't get anything. He felt his shirt was being pulled, Lewis Baker. But the referee says play on. And Leeds bring it clear with Connor Roberts. Long ball over into the Stoke half, looking for Daniel James, but that's quite well defended by a combination of Wilmot and Gooch. And then Gooch just gives the ball straight to Ilya Gruyev.
Leeds' intensity has dropped considerably.
Yeah.
When I said they can't just go for it, that doesn't mean go the opposite way and don't still do the good things. Keep passing it sharp, keep moving. But don't try and force the goal. Don't try, just keep playing. But they've gone almost too far the other way, and they've sat back and they've allowed Stoke to get back into this game and get some confidence.
But it is still 1-0 to Leeds United. That goal 12 minutes from half-time, scored by Daniel James, separating the sides. Solihull Moors 3-1 up at Gateshead now. Penalty from Jack Stevens. And Dunfermline 0, Airdrie 2 up in Scotland. Ball's worked back to Ilan Meslier in the Leeds United goal. 14 clean sheets this season. They do have the fewest goals conceded in the Championship, just 28, and 15 clean sheets in the Championship overall. Now here's Daniel James away down the right-hand side, tries to get inside Gooch. Was he pushed over? Referee says play on, because Connor Roberts is onto it, sends the cross in, and it ricochets away, and Stoke can clear. Big goal at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Jeji Kasama putting the Owls ahead. Remember, they're second bottom, Sheffield Wednesday. 3 points adrift off Stoke, but they're going level with Stoke as things stand, with the 3 points they're currently getting. And Peterborough 4, Northampton 1. Hector Cipriano, Hector the Protector they call him, the defensive midfielder. The Cypriot gets Posh's fourth goal of the night. Peterborough start the night in 5th, looking for 4 straight wins. 7 points off Derby in 2nd, who don't play tonight. There's no play at the moment. There's a Stoke player down injured. Blackburn have equalised against Millwall. And of course it's Sammy Smodics, isn't it? 20 goals for the season in the Championship for Sammy Smodics to make it 1-1 at Ewood Park. That's the season of his life by quite some distance for Sammy Smodics. He's been brilliant.
He won't be there next season.
Probably not. He's got 5 FA Cup goals, 6 FA Cup goals as well. He's really been outstanding this season.
Nobody come in from in the window.
If they did, they obviously didn't offer enough.
But a little bit surprising that there wasn't a huge amount of talk about it, was there? You're thinking, someone that's scoring goals like that's got an eye for it.
Hang on, stop the press. You'll love this. Our producer Will's done further research on the furthest distance to travel for a league game. Longest recorded distance for a league game, Luk Vladivostok versus Baltika Kaliningrad in Russia's 2nd division, a grand total of 6,441 miles.
Brilliant.
Which is the same distance as flying from New York to LA and back again. That's a long coach journey, isn't it, if you've lost?
That is.
Thank you, Will. Good work. Under pressure, but he's delivered. Barnsley 2, Bolton 1. Bolton get a goal back at Oakwell through Victor.
That's like flying from here to Hawaii.
Adebayo, it is.
It's not far off it.
Adebayo with his 10th goal of the season to get Bolton back in it at Oakwell.
Well done, Will.
But it's 1-0 to Leeds United here, and Campbell is ready to come back on. He had treatment for that foul. He's just waiting for the referee's word to make it 11 against 11. On he comes as he gets the signal from Oliver Langford. Stoke only 1 goal behind and creating a few chances. Here's Josh Laurent, right-hand corner of the penalty area with his back to play. Tries to play a 1-2 with Manhoef, but it's cleared up to halfway.
It's all Stoke at the moment.
Well, you can hear the irritation around us here at Ellen Road. It's not going Daniel Farke's side's way in this second period. Stoke are first to most things, but they haven't really created a big chance so far to really test Ilan Meslier, who had to make that long-distance save in the first half from Lewis Baker's 30-yard strike.
And this is when you need experienced players to suddenly turn things around. This is the problem that you've got. Leeds, you don't want to go all out and just keep attacking because you leave yourself open. You want to control the game, manage the game, but you're still got to play quick. You're still got to pass the ball around.
Well, they've lost the ball again.
They've gone
Leeds
too far the other way and they've dropped off. The intensity has lowered considerably and they've allowed Stoke back into the game.
Thoughts of Danny Mills you can hear alongside me, Ian Danter, here at Ellen Road. You're listening to Leeds 1, Stoke 0 in the EFL Championship on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. Lyndon Gooch once again scampering forward down the left-hand side for Stoke. Gets to the left-hand corner of the box, plays it across to Manhoef at the edge of the area, trying to make some room for a left-footed shot. Driven away and it deflected off Gruyev. Rutter can't win the second ball. Manhoef's there again. Touches it onto his right-hand side and Pearson. Infield it goes for Lewis Baker. He's going to go for goal again. Meslier makes a good save, plunging to his right. And Leeds more clear. And the home crowd are getting agitated because Stoke are starting to turn the screw here, even if Leeds are still 1-up.
Yeah, I think Daniel Farke needs to think about making a change, just to change the dynamic of this game at the moment, because Stoke is starting to get on top.
Rutter runs into traffic. Michael Rose won it back for Stoke inside his own half, and it's played out to the impressive Million Manhoef, who plays a long ball downfield, asking Tyrese Campbell to give chase, but that's a comfortable cushioned header clear from Joe Roden. Up to halfway goes Somerville, rides the challenge of Herver and plays the ball infield to Rutter. Gives it back to Somerville, running at the back line now. Great run into the area for Bamford, but he showed too much of that to Wilmot, and Ben Wilmot put it out of play for a Leeds throw out on the left-hand side. 1-0 to Leeds, and we played 20 minutes of the second half on Talksport 2.
Yeah, Leeds have allowed Stoke to come back into this game. They're starting to build in confidence, and that's dangerous. I understand that Leeds have got to manage the game better. They have to keep the intensity, keep the ball moving quickly, closing down people without being desperate to score the second goal.
Great skill from Rutter down the left-hand side of the area, gets into the box, but that's equally brilliant defending from Keanu Hoover, getting himself between
their confidence
player
has
and
gone
ball.
through the roof, Dance, haven't they?
Yeah.
You can physically see it on the pitch. Suddenly, Every single Stoke player wants the ball. You know, they're all, yeah, come on, I'll have it. I don't mind, I'll play. We're on top here. Things are going well.
But 1-0 to Leeds it remains on Talksport 2. We're also almost at the midway point of the second half. Peterborough 5, Northampton 1 at the Western Homes. Josh Knight gets Peterborough's 5th. Here's Tyrese Campbell for Stoke City. Out to Manhoef on the right-hand side, midway point of the half. Plays it infield to Pearson, who's got a bit of space as he gets towards the edge of the area. Finds Lewis Baker. Baker and Roberts gets in the way. Tyrese Campbell almost latched onto a loose ball. Panic stations at the back there for Leeds, but they managed to get the ball clear. And the flag's gone up for offside anyway. So it'll be a free kick for Leeds. But again, nervy moments at the back for the hosts, but they still lead 1-0.
How's that offside? Connor Roberts plays that back towards his own goal. I'm not sure how the linesman saw that as offside. That's a bizarre one.
Morecambe 1, Crawley 0, by the way, in League 2. Jordan Slew for the Shrimps.
It was luck.
3 points off Gills, so they're in with a hunt for a playoff place in League 2. Morecambe was a bit of luck.
Yeah, more luck than judgment. You know, I have to say, Stoke are really. I think Daniel, he needs to change something. He needs to change the direction of this game quite quickly. He needs to get somebody on there to get control of the ball.
Because the Stoke subs have worked.
Yeah, they have.
Pearson finding Lawrence out to this near side, and Bai Jun Ho comes in field up to the edge of the area, tried to find Lewis Baker, and then Baker fouled Daniel James as he tried to bring the ball away. And Ben Pearson, I mentioned earlier, he's had 2 red cards in his time playing against Leeds for Preston, and he just got involved there, I think, with Joe Roden. And the referee is going to certainly have a word with both players here, and yellow cards coming in.
Well, surely he's got to book Roden as well.
Well, Pearson has moved himself away from the theatre of conflict.
Well, they both went head to head.
It was chest to chest and a little bit of head to head, but
it wasn't headbutts. It was just putting forehead on forehead. You know, that was all it was. But I'm surprised he's not booked both players for that. And also, well, Leeds players were complaining that he kicked the ball away, time wasting. You're 1-0 up.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah, they hadn't thought that through, had they?
You'd be delighted if they kicked the ball away.
Free kick then for Leeds United, with just over 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Can they hang on to this scoreline and maybe go second in the Championship tonight? A couple of changes being readied down beneath us by Leeds United. Matteo Joseph's going to be on in a minute. He scored a couple against Chelsea in that cup tie. And also Joel Peru is going to be introduced, presumably for Bamford. Normally one comes on for the other.
Bamford and James?
Maybe.
Some of it, or Rutter perhaps?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably Bamford and Rutter, I would say. Haven't really been in the game the second half.
Stoke still coming forward. Keanu Hoover lets the ball run across his body, fires it up to Tyrese Campbell at the edge of the area. Quick feet to get away from his man. Shot against the feet of Meslier, who clears his lines, and then an awkward volley back towards the penalty area by Hoover, goes well wide. That's a big chance for Stoke. Quick feet from Tyrese Campbell inside the area, but his shot was straight at Meslier. He kept it out with his feet. 1-0 Leeds.
Really good play from Hoover. Does really well. Meslier saves with his feet. But again, another chance created by Stoke. Worrying times for Leeds as the changes happen.
Well, you were right. It is indeed Joseph for Rutter and Peru for Bamford.
This management lark's easy, isn't it?
Matteo Joseph is just 20, joined from Espanyol to the academy a couple of years ago. Hasn't scored in the league yet, but he managed those 2 goals, as I mentioned, at Stamford Bridge in the FA Cup. Cheltenham equalised against Charlton in that big game towards the foot of League One. Liam Sercombe for the Robins. So those 2 changes made. Bamford and Rutter off, Joseph and Peru on. And it's a goal kick to Leeds United, and Meslier, under a bit of pressure from Campbell, clears left-footed. Bristol City lead at Ipswich.
Yeah, good side, Bristol City.
1-0. Anis Mehmeti puts them ahead at Portman Road with nearly 10 minutes gone in the second half there. Here's Josh Laurent for Stoke. Still a goal down to Leeds, but pressing for an equaliser here. Lewis Baker down the left-hand side, this near side for Lyndon Gooch, good cross in and sent just wide by Kiana Hoover coming in, who took it on the half volley, almost at the edge of the D, tried to caress it into the back of the net from the edge of the box. Good connection and not that far wide. Leeds 1-0 up still.
Leeds have lost control of this game at the moment. They're fortunate. Better finish, bit more composure. That ends up in the back of the net. But you say Bristol City, Ipswich, no real surprise. Both managers there are absolutely meticulous in their preparation, their analysis.
Yep.
You know, they will have looked at each other over and over again.
Long kick downfield, headed back towards halfway by Gooch. And he'll have another header to get it downfield. Ball bounces away from Gruyev for Leeds. Joseph trying to get involved for the first time tonight, but Stoke win it again. Campbell inside his own half, gets dispossessed. Now Joseph sets James away down the Leeds right-hand side. Fans stand up in front of us in this lower tier of the John Charles stand expecting something. Peru receives it, works it back into the centre of the half for Gruyev, and then Gruyev gives it away. And Pearson lobs it down the inside left channel, and Tyrese Campbell gets there first. Roden trying to close down the space, and he's conceded a throw to Stoke City as Paris Saint-Germain get a second in Real Sociedad. Kylian Mbappe at the double 4-0. The Parisians are going through.
He's not too unhappy. He's been left out a couple of times, is he?
No. Although he's off at the end of the season. Who knows where?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, wonder where. But 2-0 to the Parisians.
Is he off to Birmingham?
Oh, well, yeah. I don't
You've signed World Cup winners before?
Christophe Dugarry, but we are going back 20 years. Anyway.
Still signed a World Cup winner.
We did, and he was brilliant. Gooch with a cross into the area. Only half cleared. Manhove guides it down for Kiana Hoover. Gives it back to Manhove. Right-hand corner of the penalty area for Stoke. Faced up by Byram. Lays it back to Hoover. Goes for goal, and it's straight into the gloves of Ilan Meslier. Comfortable save for the keeper, but again, Stoke City asking questions of the hosts.
And the
1-0.
fans getting a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. You can hear it. I don't think Leeds have had a shot, have they, in the second half?
Don't think so. Certainly Joseph giving chase downfield here as he gets away from Rose into the area around the keeper. Blocked on the line quite brilliantly by Ben Wilmot. Looked for all the world that Matteo Joseph was going to score for Leeds. He got round the keeper, but Wilmot back on the line made a stunning clearance to keep it just 1-0 to Leeds United.
Well, that was their first shot in the second half. Unbelievable. They haven't had a single shot on goal in the second half, Leeds. What was 74 minutes into the game? A little bit of a defensive mix-up. Joseph does really, really well. Ends up sort of round the goalkeeper. But what a clearance that is.
Great defending from Wilmot.
That's as good as a goal.
Nearly quarter of an hour to go. Leeds still 1 up. By Ho twists and turns to get away from Gruyev. Good ball in field from Gooch to find Josh Laurent. Laurent runs into trouble. Still keeps possession and lays it off to Lyndon Gooch. Laurent wants it again. Left-hand corner of the box. Gooch has it. Places it out to the left wing near to us, and Bai Ho checks onto his right foot, thinks about a cross as he gets to the left-hand corner of the box, and then clips it down the left-hand side of the area, expecting a player in dark blue to have made a run. Nobody did. Goal kick to Leeds United. Daniel Farke, arms folded, just walking back to sit down, having been at the edge of his technical area. Stephen Schumacher and his staff in conversation.
Well, Stoke have had more possession in the second half, more territory, more shots on goal, more shots off goal. They've really put the pressure on Leeds in this second half. He's going to make another change as well. Another double change by the looks of it.
Yeah, Stephen Schumacher is going for it to try and
why not? Because if Leeds don't score, it's going to be a really uncomfortable last 15 minutes for them. They've dropped off too much in this second half.
Here's Daniel James finding Joseph. Joseph's got two to his left. Joel Peru up to the edge of the area. Tries to thread it through for Somerville. Gets it round the keeper. Oh no, what a save! Brilliant left claw from Daniel Everson to keep it out.
I think that would have been an own goal dance. I think it was the defender that played that back, and it was a fantastic save, as you say, from Everson.
Ball's back in the Leeds half, and Ampadu's got time to guide the ball back to his goalkeeper. So we're into the last 14 minutes of normal time here at Ellen Road, and you can probably hear around me and Danny Mills there's a fair degree of uncertainty from the Leeds faithful. Stoke are working hard to try and get themselves level here. Woking have equalised against Kidderminster Harriers in the National League. Curtis Edwards makes it 1-1 for the Cards with 15 minutes to play there. And looking to see who is coming on for Stoke City. Sead Haksabanovic is a striker that's coming on. And meantime, ball's out with Miljan Manhoef on the right-hand side. Oh, he skipped away from Byram. Good run from Miljan Manhoef. Tries to get into the area. Back comes Crescencio Somerville. Prevents a corner and wins possession back for Leeds United. Man on! Shouts about 30,000 fans as Glenn Kamara turns. Feeds it down the left-hand side. Looking for a great run from Somerville. But it's been intercepted.
I have to say, fair play to Stoke. They've come out second half and they've been really good. Leeds have dropped off far too much. They needed to put more pressure on.
Well, they're bringing on two strikers because Andre Vidigal's coming on as well for Stoke City.
Well, why not? They've got nothing to lose.
Yep.
You know, they're 1-0 down, but they're on top. They just need one decent chance.
Well, here's Bai Jun Ho, who's got 2 in 2 for Stoke after not scoring for 6 months. Left-hand corner of the area. Can't get past Connor Roberts, who stuck to his task well. Toe pokes it out of play for a throw. That will allow the double change to be made by Stephen Schumacher, and the players coming off. Bai Jun Ho is one of those that's coming off to allow Andre Vidigal to come on. And Miljan Manhoef, who's had a good game tonight for Stoke, I consider himself unfortunate to be substituted, but that's the gamble that Stephen Schumacher has taken.
I'm surprised, actually. He's been creative. He's been a threat, hasn't he? Maybe it's a change of tactics. Maybe they're going to stick 2 up top and stick some balls into the box.
Well, they've got 3 up top, really, effectively. Haksabanovic and Tyrese Campbell and Vidigal all up there.
I mean, 2 straight down the middle, old school 4-4-2.
Throw into Stoke. Gooch swings the ball into the area. Good flick on by Tyrese Campbell, but it drifts behind for a goal kick. He was hoping somebody was making a run in behind him, but nobody did.
Nonto for James, perhaps?
Yeah, here comes a Leeds United substitution with just over 11 minutes to go. And it's going to be, in fact, Crescencio Somerville who's making way for Wilfred Nonto.
So why does the referee not send him off on the far side?
He might be going across to him to say go across or hurry up across to this side.
So what's the law? Are you supposed to go off nearest point or not?
I think it's optional. I'm not sure that it's...
Well, it's not. You're supposed to leave the pitch.
Well, it's clearly optional here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But this is why referees confuse everybody and make life difficult. Because we've seen players do this and been booked. He's just walked from the far side of the pitch. Is that not wasting time?
Well, Nonto finally gets onto the pitch as Harry Kane scores the second of the night for Bayern. They are now 3-0 up against Lazio and heading through.
That's why referees wind me up then.
To the last 8. Do they?
Yeah.
I never would have known. Cove Rangers 0, Falkirk 1. Calvin Miller for the runaway leaders of Scottish League 1. Barnet 2, Rochdale 0 in the National League. Callum Steadworth the second at the Hive. Throw into Leeds United, so heading towards the last 10 minutes on Talksport 2 here at Ellen Road. Ian Danter and Danny Mills with you. More EFL action tomorrow night. Southampton against Preston. Stoke still working really hard to try and get something out of this game. Ali Al-Hamadi equalises for Ipswich against Bristol City. That's now 1-1 at Portman Road in the 8 o'clock kickoff. But still, that scoreline, if it stays like that at Portman Road, Leeds would still go above Ipswich into second if they hang on to this scoreline that they've got here. But 1-1 at Portman Road, 1-0 here. Stoke have a throw on halfway, and as we've said before, they're not going to die wandering, it seems, Stoke City. Birmingham equalise at Hull City. Lukas Jutkovic off the bench.
Oh, you could sound a bit more excited, Dan.
I'm trying to play it down. I don't want the professional mask to slip too much. My goodness me. Oh, don't you start. But yeah, goodness me, did we need that from the big man? First player since...
I'm pleased for you, Dan.
First player since Paul Furlong to score more than 50 goals for the club, Lukas Jutkovic. Could be in the last year of his stay at St Andrews, but that could be a very important goal because Birmingham are one of a number of sides looking nervously over their shoulders about what's going on around them at the foot of the Championship. So many teams involved. You can go up to, Cardiff, really, in the middle of the table. It's an absolutely mad championship again this season.
Oh, you're a point clear down to the relegation zone.
With a game in hand. Kind of.
Well,
a few teams playing tomorrow night, don't forget.
Well, game in hand over the bottom three, give you that.
Yeah. Now, Stoke coming forward. They still need an equaliser here, Stoke, and they're still working hard to get it. Vidigal, right-hand side, good ball in, but half volley cleared by Ampadu. Peru, midway point of his own half, holds it up well.
He's
then
done well,
slides
Peru.
it down the left-hand side, looking at Matteo Joseph, and that forces Wilmot to come across and put it out for a throw-in to Leeds United, and that's appreciated by the home support. And you're right, Joel Peru, since coming on, has been very neat and tidy for Leeds United.
He's just started to get a little bit of a grip of the game. He's quite happy to pick the ball up, hold it up, turn and try and play somebody in, and it just allows Leeds to move up the pitch.
Luke Cundle is going to come on, the Wolves loanee for Stoke. Was at Plymouth first half of the season on loan from the Molineux club. So he's going to be on for the last, 7 minutes or so. Ball's out of play. Is that a corner kick to Leeds? It is. Matteo Joseph hit the ball against the defender. So Leeds have their first corner of, excuse me, for quite a while.
Well, they've had,
the second half.
One shot in the second half.
One shot in the second half and one corner. And Daniel James is going across to that far side where the Norman Hunter stand meets the Jack Charlton to send in a right-footed in-swinger. Cundle's going to wait before he's introduced as Stoke's final substitute. Leeds one up. James with the corner. Into the near post. Hits the first defender. Volleyed clear. Glenn Kamara will go after it, but Tyrese Campbell and also Sead Haksabanovic actually wins the throw. Haksabanovic does well there for Stoke. That will allow the change to be made, and Lewis Baker is coming off to allow Cundle to come on for these last few minutes. 1-0 to Leeds United, and Lewis Baker's not hanging around because Stoke are running out of time here. Clock ticks round to 83.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's going to be nervous 7 minutes plus injury time for Leeds. They've really dropped off the tempo.
Well, you were saying it at half-time because I said you could get nervy, and you said, well, no, not if Leeds approach the second half in the right way.
But they haven't.
Yeah,
that's the difference. There's a huge difference between sitting back, like they have done, and allowing the opposition to come in, and then being sort of irresponsible and going all out to try and get a second goal too quickly and leaving yourself open at the back. You have to find that balance.
Long ball downfield from Stoke, looking for Haksabanovic, but it's headed away. Pearson is herring after it, but Peru's there again. Neat and tidy for Leeds United to guide it back. Sam Byram just keeps the ball away from Cundle, fires it into the feet of Peru. Another good ball over halfway, and Daniel James running through the centre of the pitch. Joseph to his left, picks it up now. Matteo Joseph, left-hand side of the box, skips away from one man, curls it just the wrong side of the post. Good effort from Matteo Joseph. Goalkeeper Everson at full stretch, but it ends up going behind for a Stoke goal kick. Leeds 1, Stoke 0.
Yeah, cut inside Joseph, didn't quite catch it cleanly. Just looked like he caught the ground a little bit beforehand, and that therefore didn't quite get the bend on the ball that he wanted.
Bradford equalise against Doncaster. Tyler Smith making it 1-1 at Valley Parade. Here come Leeds again. Joel Peru running through the centre circle. Couple of step overs, tries to thread it through for James, but overhits it. There's a double change for Leeds coming up. Archie Gray is being given some final instructions, and Junior Firpo is going to be on as well for these last few minutes.
Interesting substitutions.
Well, those are the two usual fullbacks. Whether Roberts and Byram are the players coming off.
Surely not. You wouldn't change the fullbacks at both of them at this stage, surely.
Here's Ethan Ampadu. Lovely run over halfway, gliding through the centre of the pitch. Ethan Ampadu, and he's still going. And a yellow card is going to be administered to Ben Pearson. That's a second yellow, and for the third time, Ben Pearson is sent off against Leeds United. Twice sent off when he was a Preston player, and he's got a second yellow. 2 lemons make a strawberry for barging into Ethan Ampadu. Stoke it down to 10 men.
Need to see it again. Not convinced it's a booking. Not seen it in real time. Once we get a chance to see it back, I'll make a definitive. We're a long way from it. I don't know whether he put his arm up or his elbow out at all.
Well,
but it's stupid. Either way, didn't need to do it.
Oh, it's an off-the-ball incident. He's thrown out his forearm.
I'm not convinced that's a booking dance, if I'm honest.
At Matteo Joseph, I think. So a second yellow card. He's gone anyway. It's all semantics. He's off.
Yeah.
Meantime, the players coming off. Glenn Kamara and Sam Byram are the players coming off for Leeds United. Junior Firpo and Archie Gray, as I mentioned, are coming on. Charlton have retaken the lead. Your old club, Danny Layton at Cheltenham.
Go on, the Addicts.
Tyreek Bakinson, once a Bristol City, has given Charlton the lead at the completely Suzuki.
I'm not going to be impartial. Go on, the Addicts. Get in.
Well, you did play for him. I've never played for Birmingham City. There's a difference.
You're probably more passionate about Birmingham than I am about any club that I play for.
No, I don't doubt that for a second, Danny.
So Birmingham's results probably affect you far more than any club that I play for these days.
Be a happier drive home in my mind if we hang on to that point that we've got at the moment at Hull City. But we've got 2.5 minutes to go. Leeds now have a man advantage, and Gnonto making a run. Finds Archie Gray in the area left-hand side. Firpo on the overlap, pulls it back looking for Peru. But Stoke have got players backing. They get it half clear. But now Stoke have got to try and work the oracle with a man light here. Ben Pearson, red carded for 2 bookable offences. And both were unnecessary, because the first came when he sort of put his head into Joe Rodon's earlier in the half.
Having said that, though, the Leeds players went after him. And no one got booked for that from the Leeds. So, because Leeds sort of trying to say that he kicked the ball away. So that was a little bit, I think, unfortunate.
But it's not his first rodeo in terms of getting sent off against Leeds United.
I don't think the second one was a booking, but it was silly.
90 seconds of normal time to go. Have Stoke got anything left here? They're down to 10 men, but it's worked back by Gooch to Laurent. Laurent just on a drive-in field. Flicked it inside, looking for Haksabanovic, but Leeds have won it back, and now Matteo Joseph making a strong run over the halfway line, forced infield by Michael Rose. Good ball for Archie Gray, tried to send it through for Peru, but that was tidied up by Ben Wilmot. Ball gets stuck under the goalkeeper's feet a little, but Everson can clear. Firpo wins the header, might drop for Haksabanovic. Good sliding challenge from Archie Gray. That's more like it from Leeds. They're putting the foot in now. And then Greer puts his foot in.
It's all about effort at the moment.
And now Daniel James moving to the edge of the area, right-hand side. Roberts in support. James still has it. Oh, and he slipped as he tried to cross it. And his standing foot went from underneath him, and the ball just dribbles behind for a Stoke City goal kick. We're in the last minute of normal time. Stoke have got a lot of work to do here. They've got to get themselves level somehow, but they're down to 10 men against Leeds United, 1-0.
I think they've got away with one in the second half. If this was against a better team with a bit more quality up front, I think they'd probably find themselves level. Leeds have got to use this as a lesson. They played very, very well in the first half. They created a lot of chances. Need to be a little bit more clinical. But in the second half, they've dropped off the pace dramatically. The intensity has dropped. You can't afford to do that towards the end of the season.
Haksabanovic for Stoke, over halfway. Campbell tucks it out to this near side of the left, and Gooch. Campbell's gone again down the left-hand side of the area, cross deflected. Actually made the claim easier for Ilan Meslier, where you can probably hear that around 6 minutes of minimum stoppage time. That's what we're into now on Talksport 2, as Leeds bid to go second in the Championship. Remember, that scoreline at Portman Road is still in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Ipswich 1, Bristol City 1. If it stays level, or indeed if Ipswich lose, this scoreline would take Leeds second. And coming up next, live on Talksport 2 on Friday night, it's the Yorkshire Derby for Leeds United. They'll travel down the M1 to take on Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough.
And that'll be a real opportunity, Dan. It will. To play first on a Friday night.
Yeah.
If you can get that 3 points, it puts everybody else under so much pressure.
And then they've got home to Millwall, away at Watford, home to Hull, away at Coventry, and home to Sunderland. Leeds. Stoke go to Preston next, so that's a reunion between Ryan Lowe and Stephen Schumacher, who worked together at Plymouth before Lowe was spirited away by Preston North End. Cheltenham 1, Charlton 3. Alfie May becomes the top scorer in League One, 18 goals for the season for the former Cheltenham out. 3-1 then to Charlton.
They'll be singing away, many miles have I travelled, and so on.
And Woking 2, Kidderminster 1. Woking in front, Charlie Kendall. Gateshead 2, Solihull Moors 3. DeJean Brown gets one back for Gateshead. And Southend 1, Wealdstone 1. Harry Sandat equalises for the Shrimpers at Roots Hall.
Yeah, didn't play for them.
OK, just checking. So we've played nearly 2 minutes of the minimum 6 that have been added on. Leeds United a goal to the good, as they have been since just after the half-hour mark. But they've made heavy weather, Danny Mills, of this second half.
Yeah, as I say, it looks like at the moment they're going to get away with it. But they've dropped off dramatically in the second half. Stoke have been a little bit better. If they had a bit more quality in the final third, Leeds could have found themselves in a really awkward, difficult situation. But at this stage of the season, it's about getting 3 points, and Leeds have got to take that, and they've got to learn from it and not allow another second half performance like this.
Well, here comes Stoke again, left-hand side. Lyndon Gooch on the near side to us there as they attack the Revie end to our left. Ball's played back to Wilmot. Rose to his right. Just to the right of the centre circle. Plays it out to the far right-hand side. Herver with an early cross. Good header clear from Ampadu. Chested down by Peru. And then he intelligently fires it up to halfway for Matteo Joseph. He tried to release Gnonto, who made a great run inside, but the ball was just nicked off his toe, Joseph,
it doesn't
as he tried to release it.
Doesn't even look down. It's like Leeds have got the extra man.
No. And yet, when I watched them at Swansea, it looked like they got 3 extra players on the pitch a few weeks back. Here they come again. It's Dan James played through, onside to settle it. Great save. Brilliant save by Everson.
Hit him in the face, I think.
Well, it'll all count. Whatever you use to keep it out when you're in goal, make it work for you. And Daniel Everson caught one full in the face.
No, but Dan James has scored this evening, and it looks like he's going to get Leeds the win. But again, he's through one-on-one with a goalkeeper. And after he hits the goalkeeper. OK, you can say it's a great save. That's what the goalkeeper's there to do. But it hits him in the face. Dan James has got to do better than that in that situation. Kill the game off.
It will be a throw to Leeds United, level with the Stoke penalty area on this near side, the Leeds right.
You've got a point.
Good. Full time at the MKM. Hull 1, Birmingham 1. Phew. I think that would be the appropriate word.
Big result. Top of the table. Look at your video printer, Dance.
Oh, it's not come up on mine yet.
Oh, not yet.
Just yours is faster than mine. Don't forget the sports bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, your place to react to tonight's action over on Talksport from 10 p.m. 03717223344. And you can send WhatsApp voice notes now as well if you're feeling a bit shy about going on air live with the boys. Coventry 5, Rotherham 0. Fabio Tavares gets a stoppage time, 5th for Cov. It's finished Blackburn 1, Millwall 1 at Ewood Park. No, it's not come up yet.
Oh, refresh it. Press refresh.
Ipswich 1, Bristol City 2. Ipswich 1, Bristol City 2. Tommy Conway, they're back in front at Portman Road. Leeds are going to go second in the Championship. They're going to need 2 goals, Ipswich, from there to hang on to that automatic place. Maybe that word is going to get around Ellen Road that Bristol City are ahead. Meanwhile, Meslier clears the ball downfield, great header away, but it will come back Stokes' way. Haksabanovic tries to wriggle away from Connor Roberts. MK Dons have beaten Mansfield in League 2. Josh Lauren for Stoke down the left-hand side. Level with the edge of the area. Rolls it in field to Haksabanovic. Tries to tease it out to Gooch. Will he keep it in play at the dead ball line? He digs out across, and Meslier claims at the second attempt. I thought he'd lost it for a second, but he clutched hold of it as the ball bounced, and that may well be that for Leeds United to seal all 3 points.
Leeds living dangerously. Meslier grabs it at the second attempt. He certainly wasn't convincing. But now with 30 seconds left of injury time, I think Leeds have done it. That's it, second of the table. Not a great second half performance, but it doesn't matter at this stage of the season. You know, a win is a win, 3 points is all that matters.
Leicester have won at Sunderland by a goal to nil. Coventry have beaten Rotherham by 5 goals to nil. It is 1-1 Hull, Birmingham. Bradford, Doncaster also 1-1. Morecambe have beaten Crawley. Kick downfield from Meslier. Headed back towards halfway by Wilmot. It's now down to the referee to decide how much more we add on. The 6 minutes of minimum stoppage time have been played. Stoke 1-0 down and a man down. Have possession down the left-hand side with Luke Cundle. Rolls it into the area. Tyrese Campbell faced up by Empadu. Rolls it back to Lawrence. Good save, Meslier. Plunging to his left. What a chance for Stoke to equalise, but the right-footed shot was saved by Meslier, and that's the last action of the game, and it looks like Leeds are going back into the automatic promotion slots, courtesy of Daniel James winner. 12 minutes from half-time. They made hard work of it in the second half, Leeds United. Stoke went down to 10 men with Ben Pearson sent off right at the end of the game. Their best chance of the second half fell to Josh Lawrence at the edge of the area. Meslier made the save, and it's all delight around Ellen Road. Ipswich have just equalised against Bristol City to make it 2-2 with 10 to play there. But even if the score stays like that, Leeds are going back into the automatic spots in this crazy championship season. Full time at Ellen Road. Leeds United 1, Stoke City 0. Danny Mills.
What a chance at the end of the game for Stoke. Why doesn't he put his foot through it? It was a tippy-tappy side foot, a comfortable save for Meslier in the end. Surely when you're 16, 17 yards, you've got to smash that for goal. Hit that as hard as you can. Hit the target and who knows what happens. He allows the goalkeeper to make a comfortable save. Leeds, you have to say, were clinging on a little bit towards the end. I know they had one cleared off the line, but apart from that, the second half performance wasn't great. But it doesn't matter. They've got away with it. They need to learn from that. They've got their 3 points. They've now got to wait for other results.
So Leeds United through Daniel James with his 11th goal of the season, and it was a good finish. It might have taken a nick off a Stoke boot to just take it away from Daniel Everson, but Daniel James, with all his Quicksilver quality, it's a good finish. It was very firmly struck.
But worry would be that the way that they played in the second half, maybe they got a little bit nervous. They had chances to win the game. Dan James had, 3 or 4 really good chances.
Yeah.
2, 3 one-on-ones, where I would say he hit the goalkeeper rather than made the goalkeeper make fantastic saves. Bamford had a chance, there were other chances in the game. Leeds have got to learn from this second half performance. We can't just sit back and allow the opposition to come into it.
And just quickly on Stoke, they remain in the bottom 3. They've now played a game more than Huddersfield above them, and QPR, who've got the same number of points, 38. They can take a bit of heart from this performance, can't they, Stephen Schumacher's side?
I thought they played quite well tonight. I thought they had a decent game. They certainly didn't look like they didn't look like a team in the bottom 3. They played with confidence. They didn't quite have a cutting edge at the top end of the pitch. But I have to say, if they keep playing like that, if they can nick a few goals, they should be okay.
Danny, thank you as always for being
pleasure
with us tonight. So the points remain in West Yorkshire, and as things stand, Leeds United are in the automatic spots in the Sky Bet Championship, pending the results from Portman Road, and that will delight the Leeds fans as they head home. Don't forget you can react to all the action with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on the Sports Bar at 10 o'clock on Talksport, and Adrian and the team continuing to take you around the grounds for full-time reports on Talksport right now. We're back tomorrow night at St Mary's in the Championship for Southampton against Preston, on air from 7 o'clock here on Talksport 2. Kick-off at 7:45. How will the Saints react to getting back into that automatic promotion race? They're now on 70 points, Ipswich 76, Leeds 76, and into second. Brilliant night on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Keep it here.